Hello, folks, and hey, Bear. Good to see everyone.
We're so pumped to be here.
Yeah,
You had asked me to get some photos, and then I'm getting them, so I'm sorry.
As always, I'm Brian Bates, sometimes Dusty Slay, and occasionally Aaron Weber. And sitting in for Nate, the wonderful Greg Warren.
All right.
Hey, guys.
Here
Oh,
he
yeah.
is. Good
How you
to
doing?
see you, man.
Good to see you.
It's nice to be back.
Yeah. Last time I saw you, I was on the consumers.
You did a great job, man.
I'm kind of what you call in the podcast a fixer. I come into underperforming podcasts and I boost the ratings. Adrian asked me to come do the consumers.
This
and
was
don't let me come
Adrian's
back
thing?
there. Yeah.
You going to do that for us anytime soon or just other podcasts?
Well, I'm going against you guys, so it's tough. But anyway,
Yeah.
I had a great time with the consumers.
Yeah, you did
Good to see you.
you did a fantastic job. The people, the coterie members loved you. It was that's what we call our listeners, the coterie.
The diaper brand?
No, that's part of the reason why people don't like it. Yeah,
Because I think
yeah.
coterie diapers. Yeah.
Yeah, coterie means like I don't know. Our guy Sean has like a word of the week, and one of the times it was coterie.
Okay.
It's like an assembly. It's like a group of people. You know,
Oh, okay. I like it.
doing some.
It's a small, often exclusive group of people who share a common interest or purpose.
Yeah. With our fans, it's very exclusive and small, but it's
It's tough to get in. It's tough to become a fan.
it's not.
If they
It's
let
really
you
not.
watch the podcast.
Sorry,
it's a good
guys.
time.
I sent those to you. I text them to you. I could not airdrop them. Okay.
Oh, hey, Dusty.
Brian asked me
man.
about photos. He goes, "You got those photos?" And then I started getting them, and he goes, "Hey, Bear. Hello, folks." And I
Yeah,
wasn't
well,
ready.
I asked you for them last night.
I know.
So I thought maybe 12 hours would.
But I
suffice.
got them, though.
Thank
you
you.
for
Thank you.
including them.
Thank you. Well, it was good. It was fun because you do the research on the consumers.
Yeah.
I just got to sit back and do what these guys do is nothing and just crack jokes. So it was fun.
You spent an inordinate amount of time insulting me on my own podcast. What I remember.
Well, that was fun as well.
Yeah,
That
no,
was
you
so
seem
fun
to
as
enjoy
well.
it quite a bit.
Yeah, well, you're a good sport. You can take it. I'm so excited that you're here. Quick, some announcements. Nate, he's all over the place. He's out there promoting Big Dumb Eyes. The book is out.
It's funny the way you said the time. He's out there promoting big dumb eyes.
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
His eyes are big and they're dumb, and everyone seems to be loving the book.
Yeah.
Great feedback. So he's out there doing that. His tour kicked off in Duluth, Minnesota. Already broke the attendance record. We'll talk about that a little bit more. And he just added a third show in Denver in September.
Wow.
I think he's going to make it.
Yeah.
I think he's going
I
to.
think
He's doing pretty well.
things are heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
Yep. And now he's on set for his first feature film with Columbia TriStar, The Breadwinner. How
Yeah.
about that?
Opposite Mandy Moore, from what
Opposite
I understand.
Mandy Moore. Very opposite. Yes, I would say. About as opposite as you can get. So he is, he's on location filming.
It's crazy. We've been hearing about it for a while, and they're shooting it now.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
a new chapter.
Yeah. Also, some Nateland merch is dropped. Now available at natebargatze.com. Just click shop at the top. Check out the site for new items there. And if you're coming to a show, come find us at the merch table. You won't find Chase anymore, but there'll be somebody there.
Just click shop at the top. You almost have to put shop if you put it at the bottom.
There's no rhyme.
Yeah, you're really missing
Yeah,
out, huh?
yeah.
You gotta put it at
I
the
think
top.
the rhyme came first, and then they were like, we should sell some stuff. I think somebody was saying shop at the top. And like, we got to get some shirts made. Yeah.
I got a
This is
Nateland,
too good not
I got
to-
a
not to
Nateland
use.
news.
What's that?
I'm not quite selling as well in New York City. I have a show this weekend on Saturday, May 17th, New York City, the town hall. I need people to go.
Okay. And other Nateland
Just want
news.
to get that in.
That's awesome. May 17th, go see Dusty.
Yeah. Day before my birthday,
When is it?
May 17th.
Ah, man, I'm gonna miss it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss it. I'm going to New York tonight, but I'm gonna miss it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
June 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, we're back for season 3 of Nateland Presents The Showcase. Tickets are on sale now if you want to be part of this taping right here in Nashville. Those are so much fun. You did a pop-in guest set the last taping.
It was a ball.
Yeah, that was
it
a
fun.
great night. You were on that show, Del Jones. Remember that?
That was
Yeah,
a great
It was
show.
a fun night.
Yeah.
What show?
Nateland Presents.
Oh yeah. That was a good one.
Yeah, I think you hosted that one.
Yeah,
Yep.
probably so.
Check out
hot
the
show.
Consumers every Tuesday. Don't make me come back there every Thursday. Nateland has a handful of great specials from Aaron Weber. I think you're over 450,000 now.
Big time.
We're cooking.
Killing it, man.
We're cooking.
Killing
Yep.
it. It's a great special too. I watched it.
It is a great special.
Thank you, man.
Nick Thune has a great special. Steve Rogers has a great special out. But the biggest news of the day, Greg Warren's brand new hour special, The Champ, premieres this Friday, May 16th on the Nateland YouTube channel. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks, man.
An hour
Yeah.
special, like a real special, not just some.
He's trying to
LinkedIn
pit us
guest
against
set.
each other. I'm not going to be part of that.
Well, I don't even know what you're talking about, but
Is
that's
this
great.
where the fishing bit is?
Yeah.
The fishing bit's so good.
It
Thanks,
is
buddy.
great.
It is.
Thanks,
Such
man.
a good bit.
Yeah, it's I think we put a trailer out and it's got the highlights of the fishing bit. I
Yeah.
wound up turning it into like a 5-minute bit.
Okay. Love that.
But, yeah, it's thanks, man.
It is great.
Pretty excited about it.
It's great. Well, welcome.
Yeah,
Welcome.
thanks, buddy.
Is there any other dates you wanted to mention?
Well, I have so many, but no, May 17th is really, I mean, the 16th, I'm in Portland, Maine.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I've never done my own show in New York City.
That's
And I
fantastic.
don't know that I appeal to a New York City
No, you
crowd
do.
so much.
You do.
I mean, if they come, they're going to love the show. But I don't think people in New York look at me and go, oh, that's a guy we'd like to go see. But it's a great show.
Yeah, go see that show, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's from what I understand, it's the hardest place to sell tickets too.
Yeah, there's a lot of options.
Yeah.
It's not like they're in New York going, what can I do?
No, they got
tonight?"
a lot of stuff going
Oh,
on.
I forgot to mention this.
Yeah.
Nate just added another show at Madison Square Garden. All right, guys, go ahead. What were you saying?
Seems like he's taking a shot at you.
Yeah, he loves doing that.
I got some of that on my own podcast.
He loves
I
doing
flew
that.
him in. I went and picked him up from the airport, took him to barbecue,
Yeah.
and he sat down and spent right around 90 minutes just with the Greg Warren roast.
Yeah, Brian takes shots at us the whole podcast, and then the comments go, everybody's so mean to Brian.
Yeah, yeah.
He did take me to barbecue.
Yeah.
And Sonny Gray was pitching that day for the Cardinals.
Yep.
We drove by the Cardinal Stadium. I was like, oh man. And then we sit down at the restaurant. I'm like, there's Sonny Gray. He's been on our podcast. First pitch, grand slam.
Yes.
The Bates Jinx got to Sonny Gray through the television.
And then he died.
Yeah.
Well, I took a turn. But the Cardinals won that day.
Yeah, they did. They
Yeah.
did. I had it rough after that. I don't know if I told you because you got a ride home from
Sean,
and I was in a hurry, and I went and picked up about $200 worth of barbecue for my family. We're
Yep.
gonna have a family. I was like, I'm gonna get everybody together,
Yeah.
and it was raining pretty bad, and I drove through. It was like kind of flooding, so I drove through it and didn't realize I just smashed into the curb. Smashed into the curb. And you know how they tell you when you get a flat tire, you're not supposed to drive on it?
Yeah.
they say that.
You're not.
Oh.
You're not. Like I went on the freeway with it, and yeah, it was terrible. I
I don't know that they give that advice in St. Louis, though.
yeah,
Keep going.
yeah. I mean,
St. Louis, thank you.
it's
Get to a safe
it's not
place
like that.
and then figure it out.
I know you think it's like that because that show we did with Nate, we stayed in the bad neighborhood, but it's fine. But it was yeah, I tore it to shreds.
Wow.
Yeah, it was and I bent the wheel, had to get a new wheel. And then yeah, I was in the I had to get a towed. So the tow truck's there. I think I was on with Adrian or somebody about the special. It's like one of those things where it's like a critical phone call. And I'm on the phone and the tow truck driver shows up after like 2 hours. My barbecue's going bad. And I'm like, hey, here you go, man. Here's my AAA card or whatever. And he's like, and he hooks the car up, I'm on my phone and he he comes back and he goes, hey man, like you can't ride back here. Like you have to be up in the cab with the tow truck.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
you're not allowed to
yeah.
like be in your car. Yeah, he was like, you can't.
It's a dream come true.
Yeah, you can't do that. So yeah, 2 things I learned: you can't ride in the back, and you really shouldn't drive on a flat tire. I thought it was like a old wives' tale, like you can't go swimming until an hour after you eat or something like that. But no, you really can't. Like you can't. You should not drive on a flat tire.
I've done that. And then I try to go to the tire place and go, can you plug this? And the guy goes, no, you drove on this. You've really ruined this
Yeah,
time.
it's ripped to shreds.
All right,
You
that
need
makes
a new
me
one.
feel a little bit because you remember there was really bad weather
Yeah.
coming through, and you said, "Man, I just hope you make it. If you don't, just call me, text me. We'll come get you." And my flight was delayed. We had to go around. It was flooding, all this stuff, and I texted you. Finally made it home, and it was just dead silence because you had your own issues going on.
I had that going on. And then that was the night I found out I had black mold in my house. Yeah. I had
So
black
Brian did the
mold.
podcast, and then your life fell apart.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything went wrong. Yeah. I had black
But at
mold.
least the Cardinals won.
Yeah.
And then you left 2 days later for Europe for the
I did.
greatest
I
tour
went
ever.
to, it was pretty awesome. Went to Europe with Nate.
He bought my lunch. Yeah. And then I said, "Hey, let me return the favor when you come to Nashville." So I texted him and said, "Hey, can I take you to lunch?" He's like, "I'm too busy, man. I got stuff to do."
I did.
And then when I show up, I'm like, "How'd it go?" He's like, all that stuff got canceled.
I didn't say all that stuff got
All that
canceled. I didn't say all that
He
stuff.
can't afford another lunch with you,
Yeah.
even if you're
man.
paying. I mean,
it's, from a finance standpoint and a time standpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to lunch with him in Orlando 7 hours later.
Yeah.
After I take him across town.
And just the health of your soul you need to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All fair points. You want to get into our weekend?
Let's get into it, man.
You may go first.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Tuesday, I had a show in McMinnville, Tennessee, home of Dusty Slay.
all right.
It was a fundraiser for FC Boyd Christian School. Had a great time. Folks came out. They gave me a big gift basket.
Nice.
There was a dish towel, said McMinnville on it. I regifted it to Dusty
All right.
and went and checked out all his, go-to stomping grounds in McMinnville.
Yeah.
I mentioned Tammy's on the show. No one seemed like they'd ever
That's
been there.
shocking to me. Tammy's is the best, second best restaurant in McMinnville.
Oh, I should have mentioned the best. What's the best?
Begonias.
Begonias. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mentioned Tammy's, and they all looked at me like, "What?" No. But anyway, it was
That's tough when you think you have a great local reference and it
Yeah.
just gets nothing.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
hanging out. Maybe I'm hanging out with a different crew of people in McMinnville than you are.
Well, things change too, man.
Yeah.
Some of these places get under new management,
Yeah.
Yeah.
go the wrong
You
direction.
should have stayed at the cabin.
I should have. I'm sure my wife would have been great with that. Honey, I know I'm an hour and a half away, but I'm crashing here tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was Tuesday. Then Thursday, I was in my hometown of Lebanon, Tennessee, doing another fundraiser for New Leash on Life, Animal Rescue. And a guy at the show said, "Hey, were you on the Consumers podcast recently?"
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah."
That
He's like,
is-
"I'm a big fan of Greg Warren. I followed his career the entire
This is
time."
amazing.
And I was like, "Well, I'm also on the Nateland podcast." He's like, "I know, but I'm a fan of Greg."
Wow.
So
This is
All
He
right.
tried to get Greg for that gig.
probably, well, he wasn't booking it, but I'm sure,
No,
I'm sure they did.
he called me up. This feels more like a Bates gig. This is
They told me, they said, Jeff Allen was out of our price range. So we reached out to you. They like to let me know. I'm never their first choice. But.
yeah, that man, they really don't have a lot of tact when it comes to some
No.
of that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Friday, I was in Madisonville, Kentucky, doing a show, another fundraiser for Otter Lake Conservatory.
Tell you what, you're doing more good
Hey,
than all of us put
I
together.
love helping out these charities as long
Yeah.
as they pay me well.
Yeah.
I'll go anywhere.
Yeah.
We're not talking Jeff Allen money. Like, yeah. These, just so you know, like,
I got a Satanist convention next week.
you can get him. Like he's gettable on the,
If the money's right,
You
Dusty.
would do it.
Uh-huh.
But that was great as well. They sent us all gift bags. A fan gave me this hat. This is the Madisonville Miners. They are a
Miners with an E.
Well, that's what.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you're looking for.
Make
I'm glad you clarified that.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah. If you're listening.
Yeah.
that is
the Nashville Predators versus the Madisonville Miners. No, it's Miners with an E.
It's a high stake.
hold on a second. That's genius. The Predators against the Miners. That's outstanding, Bates.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. They are a college baseball summer league.
Oh, nice.
So all the NCAA rules except they play with wooden bats.
That's good.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So anyway, had a great time in Madisonville and
Just a lot of base hits. Yeah.
what?
No power in that game.
Oh,
right? Yeah.
well, I guess they're getting them ready for the next level, maybe.
Yeah.
To
Yeah, it's a
move
lot
on
of
up.
fundamental baseball.
Yeah. And then Saturday, I attended a birthday party for Daisy Slay, and it was going well. And I don't know what I got attacked by a group of street thugs, is all I know to say.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it was demoralizing.
That's my son and daughter there to the left.
Well, that's Daisy,
and
Sam. That's my daughter, Eleanor, and then another.
that's my niece over there.
And it wasn't fun. They came out. There's them chasing me. There's Dusty there, not doing anything to help.
no, he's.
I'm
Seems
like, get his wallet.
But they chased me for some time around the yard, didn't they,
They
Dusty?
did. Yeah, they did.
And they ganged up on me.
You see those garden beds, though? Look at how good that garden looks.
Yeah, it does look
Is that
nice.
a QT hat you got on
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
Did Will get you that?
No, me and Will collabed on a video on my
Okay.
Instagram, and QT sent me a bunch of merch. And,
Really?
Yeah, and they're so I got a hat for Will too.
You guys get. But I mean, Aaron
What are you
does
doing, Aaron?
one joke about Tums in his act, like, and it's a good joke. Okay,
Yeah.
I saw.
It's actually an embarrassing percentage of my special is about Tom's. If you do the math,
I did it.
I
and
mean,
it-
it's 13% of the
it's
30 minutes.
It's a joke. I mean, it's a good joke.
Yeah,
and
thank
he
you.
gets Tums, and they send him all of a sudden. I spent a lifetime talking about Jif. Where I worked, the guy that runs that company, okay, Smuckers, it took them 2 years to send me anything. He's one of my best friends. They said that nothing. And you're getting QT merch just for doing a joke one day.
Yeah.
It's not even my
Stupid
joke.
video with
Will's
Will.
joke.
I mean, come on. Brazzi finally came through, but not even. It was driven by the Uncrustables.
Yeah, Brazzi.
Yeah.
That dude.
Yeah.
Do you got a Walgreens stuff on the special that's coming out?
I got a lot of Walgreens stuff, but they're not going to send me anything, man.
You don't think so?
No, dude, it's not. It's derogatory.
But I think they know what they are and they lean into it.
Oh, you know
what? I
what?
mean?
I got a Cracker Barrel commercial off my Cracker Barrel joke on my
You
special.
got a national TV
A national TV show
Yeah.
of a Cracker Barrel. You think I shouldn't be doing a Jif commercial? Are you
should-
kidding me?
You should. Jeff is missing an opportunity. I'll tell you
I
that.
did a Jif commercial. It was called The Salesman. It was an hour.
Yeah,
I did it.
they're like, we don't even need to send this guy anything.
I haven't seen that Cracker Barrel commercial, but I was going to congratulate you.
Yeah,
That's
thank
huge,
you.
Yeah,
man.
that's awesome.
I've been hearing all about it.
Yeah, it's 15 seconds. It goes quick, but it's cool.
Yeah.
They put my name on there. I'm not playing just a character. They're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
with
you're
Dusty
you.
Slay.
You're
Yeah.
a spokesman
Yeah.
at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to be the flow of Cracker Barrel.
Well, last week,
Be careful, man.
Yeah.
That you could be that, and I don't know if I want your career to be a little more broad than that.
I don't know. I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
does he have six fingers?
What are you sipping on this?
That's a
This far?
Coke. That's a Coke.
Oh.
It was a small one, though, an 8-ounce
Wow.
Coke.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
dangerous road you're driving
Oh,
down,
man.
Dusty.
I will be honest with you. I sip a Coke once in a while.
It's good, isn't it?
I don't drink a lot of them, but a canned Coke really can't be.
Not a Diet Coke, a straight up
Straight up.
Coca-Cola.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have it, go full strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dusty, you picked up pepperoni pizzas. It was
Beef
great.
pepperoni.
I don't
Actually-
know. What's the logic behind if you're gonna rob a bank, you might as well kill everybody in
No,
there.
Rob a real bank, a good bank.
I don't trust the diet chemicals. I don't. Just go.
Aspartame. They even relabeled aspartame. I
just
think,
go
or
sugar,
something
man.
else.
My grandma said it'll scramble your brains. Is
Yeah.
what she said about aspartame.
Your grandma gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beef pepperoni.
Yeah, beef pepperoni. I got a pizza place in my part of town in Hermitage called Salvo's. All beef products. They said they have no pork products in the building. So,
Well, that's pretty nice.
yeah.
We used to call Salvation Army salvos.
Really?
Yeah. That was like the cool thing to call it.
Well, that's
We
what
head
this
over to
pizza place
Salvo's.
feels like to me. This pizza place feels like
A thrift store
a
of pizza.
Salvation Army of pizza for me. Like I finally can eat free in there.
There was I worked at Procter and Gamble.
Yeah.
And there was apparently a laundry product back in the day called Salvo, and it was like a tablet, like basically like a tablet. And the first job you would get, they called it field advertising back then. You would go. That was your job out of college. Is you take samples and you go door to door and hang these samples on people's doors. So this guy told me, this old guy, he said, yeah, we were putting Salvo tablets on, going through this neighborhood door to door, and he said this guy came up to him and he was foaming at the mouth. And he was like a crazy person.
Wait, what did he think they were?
I don't know what he thought he was.
Salvo sounds like you eat it.
He was foaming at the mouth, and he was talking to Jim Beard about it, man. Yeah.
Salvo, saliva. Sounds very
Yeah.
Salvo was launched in the mid 1960s. It was not successful, due at least in part to the failure of the discs to entirely dissolve. Was discontinued in 1974.
This sounds like a hatchet job.
Yeah.
Dissolved in his mouth.
This Wikipedia entry.
Yeah, it sounds like a hatchet job.
Yeah.
They were coming after us.
This was
right now.
Unilever wrote this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It sounds exactly like them.
Guys, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. So let's encourage everyone to take care of their well-being and break the stigma. The world is better when people are healthy and happy. You agree with that, right, Dusty?
I do agree.
Yeah. Mental health awareness is growing, but there's still progress to be made. Do you know that 26% of Americans who participated in a recent survey said they have avoided seeking mental health support due to fear of judgment? When people hesitate to get help, it doesn't just affect them. It can impact families, workplaces, and entire communities. Therapy is helpful for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. BetterHelp has over 10 years of experience matching people with the right therapist from their diverse network of more than 30,000 licensed therapists with a wide range of specialties. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable and convenient, serving over 5 million people worldwide. Plus, you can easily switch therapists anytime at no extra cost. We're all better with help. So visit betterhelp.com/Nate to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Nate.
Great ad read.
All right, well, that was my weekend. Some shows and a birthday party and getting roughed up. But what about you?
I was at the Grove in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Lowell,
Right.
to be.
Lowell, yeah, Lowell.
Yeah. I think your picture's on the wall.
Yeah, it is.
They painted his portrait on the outside of the club.
Yeah.
Yours too?
No, I'm saying it's Dusty's doing
Oh,
the wave.
It's really
Is there
cool.
anyone else there that's also painted on the wall here at Zany's? Any other comics on the wall there?
No.
So you might be the only comic in the country who has two
That's
murals.
true,
Maybe
man.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Linda Stogner,
Yeah, she's great.
Greg Morton,
Yep.
and
Cowboy-
Stuart Huff.
Oh, Stuart Huff.
And there is
Yeah.
some cowboy there. I don't
Yeah.
think he's a comic though.
Is that Cowboy Bill Martin?
That's
Or is
what
it-
I
No.
thought, but
No.
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
That's an
Um,
interesting choice of.
Those guys are all great.
They're all great,
I know Linda real well. She's
Yeah.
just one of the nicest
Linda's
people I
super
meet.
funny.
And I
Greg
know
Morton
Stuart too. And Greg.
Does a wild set that is so funny and entertaining.
Oh my God. It's the Star Wars stuff. He can do all the different Star Wars
Great
characters.
voices and
Yeah.
impressions and stuff. Yeah.
High and he's
Greg Morton is really great.
he's Canadian, I think, right?
Yeah.
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 High energy.
So you were at.
I was at the Grove, and I mean, it was one of those sort of in and out pretty quick.
Bill take you to the pizza place. You go over there to the.
No, I don't really eat dairy.
Okay.
But he did get some ribs brought in for
All
me.
right.
And
Bill will hook it up.
He called me. He'll hook it up, but a day later. Like he called me. He's like, "We got barbecue for you, man. Just come on." So Thursday night, I was like, "Hey, Sean, don't eat, man. Bill's got barbecue for us." And I walked in. He's like, "We got barbecue coming tomorrow for you." You know? And he did, and it was good. He got some ribs, and then he made some pulled pork.
Yeah.
It was outstanding, and I really enjoy Bill and that club.
Yeah.
It's great. Northwest Arkansas, I've said it before, most underrated part of the country, I think.
Boomtown.
It's hot there. Yeah.
Awesome up there.
It is like Nashville on its way. Like it's Boomtown.
Mhm.
Rest of Arkansas, not a lot going on. Beautiful state.
Yes.
Not a lot going
A
on.
lot to look at.
Yeah.
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 Um,
Fayetteville, that whole Northwest Arkansas, great. The NWA, as they call it.
Do they really call
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Northwest
I think that's
Arkansas.
it. That may be the name of the airport, right? Or the abbreviation.
Oh, that would
Yeah.
make sense.
Yeah. And then Bill famously, I guess he did it to you, and like he's got this joke about Magic Johnson that goes on for. It's about 13 minutes, and there is not a payoff. Did
he host?
No,
That sounds
he didn't
right.
host this time. There was a girl, Marissa, out of Dallas, that was very funny.
Okay.
But Bill, he told me he had another joke, and now I called him on it one day. I was like, Bill, it's a terrible joke. Like, and I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to tell you, and maybe I won't work here again, but I need to tell you, it's not that Magic Johnson joke. There's nothing there, buddy. And so now, whenever anybody goes there for the first time, Aaron will text me and be like, "Hey, Bill told me you really liked his Magic Johnson joke," or something like that. It goes for a while, and you're like, "Well, I'm going to be nice, and then I'll get a little reward at the end."
Uh-huh.
It's nothing. It goes down at the end. Yeah.
It's one of those jokes where you don't know if it's done or not. So you're like,
it's done, man. Yeah. I mean, that joke.
You don't know when to laugh. You're like, is that it?
There's no time. There's not a place to laugh, man. Yeah, you can't.
I've not heard it.
You don't want to hear it.
Okay.
I think you can probably guess.
It's a mix of poorly constructed and even a little offensive. It's offensive.
Right.
Yeah. It's
no doubt about it.
It's got a lot of
You'd love it, Dusty.
all the bad ones.
Something to do with an immune disease?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's in there.
Safe bet.
Yeah. Yeah. And
this is why Greg's not on the wall, but Dusty is.
Yeah.
By the way we're seeing.
Hey, if I got to get on that wall by listening to that Magic Johnson joke again, I'm just gonna have to stay off the wall. Yeah. And I love Bill.
Right,
and I actually think I've seen Bill get on stage. He's kind of funny. Like he's a funny personality. I've seen him construct some jokes that are, if he'd work at it, I'd be like, yeah,
he's got a really good Freddie Mercury bit.
Yes.
I mean, if you know Bill really.
What do those two have in common? I'm trying to think. Because Magic Johnson,
a real specialty.
Magic Johnson wasn't in a rock and roll band.
Bill really gets into it not being good though. Like I bet that's why he likes the Magic Johnson joke. Like he's putting you through pain, and that makes him happy.
Dusty, I think he thinks he's sitting on gold with this Magic Johnson joke.
I think you gotta keep digging, and I think it's there.
No, this is.
I'm calling horribly. When this podcast is over, and I'm finding out that joke.
Yeah, and then 2 hours later, you'd be driving home, and you'd be like, I should have listened to Greg. Yeah.
I'm there at the end of August. I'll report back.
Yeah,
I think by the end of August, this is gonna be his hot pocket bit. I think it's coming.
I got to tell you, I disagree.
It's gonna be Flute Man all over again.
You're gonna try to compare Flute Man with that Magic Johnson
by the end of August. I haven't heard it. I have not heard it. Flute Man.
I'm not trying to congratulate myself, but you don't build Flute Man in 4 months. Okay.
It was a lifetime preparing for Flute Man. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Aaron?
I was out with Nate this weekend. First part of his Big Dumb Eyes tour, Duluth, Minnesota, Green Bay, Wisconsin, Peoria, Illinois, and then we were in Fort Wayne, Indiana last night. The first night, Nate broke Elton John's attendance record at the arena.
Bill has a joke about Elton John.
Just a crazy weekend, man. The shows are so big that it's kind of like comical how large.
What were the attendance numbers?
The shows are. I don't know. What did he do? Like 20,000 in Fort Wayne last night.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, they're just massive. So it was me, Steven Rogers, Keith Alberstadt, and Julie McCullough.
Hot show.
That's a show right there.
Yeah,
man.
It was great, dude.
Hot
Keith
show.
Alberstadt's so funny.
He's so good, man.
Steve and Julian have done Nateland before. The listeners know them, but Keith hasn't been on here before yet.
Keith's one of the best.
Yep.
I mean, he's so good.
Yeah,
he's so polished, and it was just fun to watch him every night.
Yeah, he has they're very different comics, but he has a little Nate in him in that he doesn't push hard at all. Neither they sort of they have a lot of confidence in what they're saying, and they let the audience come
sit
to
in it. He'll sit in something.
He will just.
He's got a joke where he says it, and then he just kind of looks at the crowd for a while, and it's just because I'm up there those big shows, I'm like freaking out every second. I can't. I don't have the confidence to just stand there and sit in it. But we had a fun weekend, man. Nate rented out a trampoline park in Peoria, Illinois. So after the shows, we all went over there and just played dodgeball and jumped on the trampoline. I'm still sore.
Oh,
I mean, that is a workout.
Yeah.
When was the last time you really jumped on a trampoline? It had been a while.
Actually, all the time. I have a trampoline at home, and we go to the trampoline park. And the first time I went, I was like that for me. I was my
dude.
entire body was sore.
It'll take it out of you. But they had like a American Ninja Warrior kind of course that you could run through and stuff.
Yeah.
So just a fun weekend. Those shows they're great. I was telling the other comics, it's like, you get off stage and you're like, how are they? And you're like, well, it's just degrees of unbelievable. At this point. How's the 18,000 people at 3 p.m.? They're pretty good.
Yeah,
There's about 750 not listening too close, but the others, 16,000 plus.
that's true, man. If you can mask that, you can mask 4,000 people that don't care for you.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But it was great. So that's where I was. So
Awesome.
Well, I was off again. I've had a great birthday. I was off.
I thought your birthday was next week.
No, I mean birthday party for my
yeah,
daughter. We had a great party, and it was great. But I'm back.
I met a woman there. She said she met Dusty at the trampoline park, so he does go a lot.
Yeah,
really?
yeah. I mean, we got a membership to the one in
Oh,
Hermitage,
that's cool.
And we go. I mean, and then we got a trampoline for the kids. I mean, I want them to be doing stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They need to be moving. So I had a trampoline as a kid with no barriers, nothing over the springs. And then this one has a whole fence around it and you can't even see the springs. And
I remember when the fences around the trampoline started to show up.
Yeah.
And you're like, I felt like half the fun was jumping from the trampoline to somewhere else.
Yeah.
Or I remember my cousin and his house in Montgomery, Alabama. They had 2 trampolines somehow. I think they grabbed one off the side of the street. And you could climb to the roof of their house and jump one trampoline and then another trampoline, and then they had a basketball goal.
That's amazing.
You could dunk on?
You could dunk on. I mean, after 2 trampolines, you're pretty high in the air.
We had our trampoline at my dad's house was right up next to a deck and a big walnut tree. So we could get in the walnut tree, jump out onto the trampoline.
Land on the deck?
Well, yeah. I mean, my stepbrothers were bigger than me, and they could really do some pretty impressive. They could jump up from the trampoline into the tree and grab a limb.
Oh yeah.
But
you get double bounced on it.
But But as a parent, I'm all about the fence on the side.
Yeah.
I always made fun of kids wearing helmets, but as a parent, when my kids are riding their little bikes out on the street, I'm like, let's get a helmet on.
Yeah.
I don't want you crushing your head out here.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up on a dirt road. It's a little less painful than a asphalt.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I went to a trampoline park with my buddy when his kids were little, and my gig there is I would get they do a move, and I'd be like, hey, can you show me how to do that? Kids like 4 or 5, and he'd show me, and then I'd do it, and on purpose I'd get it wrong, and then I'd just throw it temper tantrum. And be like, I'm stupid. I'm a loser. And my buddy would be like, you're not, man. You're not. It's hard. He'd be like, it's too hard. And I'd be like, show me again.
Is somebody watching this from afar?
Oh yeah. I think
those kids go home and they go, adults are really struggling.
Yeah, this one guy, Mom, he had some problems.
Some real losers out there.
Yeah.
Recently, I had to pick up some body care stuff, but the scents were all so boring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Men's products need more variety. It's the same stuff, same bland smells.
Boring.
Well, once I smelled Cremo, I knew I had to make the switch.
Everything changed.
It did. Cremo is on the next level. I wish I'd known about this before I got married. I would have just been living it up out there. You deserve freedom from sweat and stink. I may leave my wife. That's how good Cremo is. Cremo's deodorant is designed to provide men with 48-hour odor protection. Products are all Barber grade and made with pride, professionalism, and passion to guarantee you quality without compromise. I gave Cremo's Palo Santo deodorant a try, and now I'm a customer for life.
Wow.
Yeah, it
It's a good scent.
goes on smooth, has no residue, and gives me the confidence and class I've been craving. I may leave my wife and kids. That's what I'm saying, guys.
I say put some on right now, just see what happens. It's mostly dudes here, but let's see what happens.
Well, like Aaron pointed out, you can't smell, though. If you only had a way to convey the smell.
We wish you guys could. It's tough to do an ad read for a thing that we can't really convey through the podcast medium, but trust us.
But they can smell it.
Smells good.
It smells great. It's an amazing sponsor because they care about men's
I want to
grooming.
leave my wife for you right now.
They care about men's grooming needs. And let's face it, we deserve grooming products from a company with high standards.
I agree.
Head to Target or Target.com to find Cremo's new line of antiperspirants and deodorants in the Italian, bergamot, and Palo Santo scents. Once again, that's Target or Target.com. Shall we get into these comments?
Yes.
All right. Comments come from Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Apple Podcast Reviews, and Nateland at natebargatze.com.
You can give them to Greg on the road too if you see him.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
I don't vet these, so
Don't do that. I was just kidding.
I'll take them.
Okay. All right. Take 'em.
Man of the people.
I have no idea what these are. I don't vet them, so we'll just see.
All right.
Jay Rinsing. This episode was so good. I was laughing so hard and then found myself crying at the end. Between Dusty's song list and you three talking about your moms and wives, it was so touching. You all seriously have the best podcast. Thanks for another great episode and for touching this mom's heart.
All right.
Well,
That's
thank you.
nice.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah,
I was
Mom's episode
told
last week.
I missed a bunch of songs that were on the list.
Yep.
Garth Brooks.
Well,
Mom.
hold on. Before you read these, you didn't miss any because the list was your favorite
That's
songs.
true. That is true. Garth Brooks is not on Spotify, so he's never going to be on any of these lists. It's a shame. Shenandoah Mama Knows. I wish I had. I love Shenandoah. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan or a Morgan Wallen fan, so they'll never be on the list.
Those are what's the Taylor Swift song?
Taylor Swift, The Best Day.
Great song. It's a great song. But it's also about her dad and her brother.
Yeah.
But the Morgan Wallen song is great. You'd like it.
Dan Seals, Everything Glitters Is Not Gold, is such a good song. And I never thought about it being a mom song because, I guess it's a bad mom that left the family. And I know Fancy is too, technically speaking, depending on how you look at it. But
I'm not sure there's a way to look at Fancy and make her into a good mom.
Yeah, I was just saying that.
in the end, Fancy turns out to be pretty rich and fancy. I think her mom was like, listen,
She
you're
had
going to have
earned
to
it.
make some compromises out here. There ain't no man coming to marry you.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to show you anything. Like,
mean,
our kid's
those-
going to starve to death.
Yeah.
He had a problem with Forrest Gump's mom, who at least she stepped up and did the things.
But once you guys, schooled me on
We
it.
turned him on that
Yeah,
quick.
I
Yeah,
agreed
yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
agreed with
I think she did she had the best interest of her.
Yeah.
And I guess so did Fancy's mom.
Yeah.
But it
If
seemed to
Fancy's mom in the end, if Fancy's mom was also rich in the end, I would say bad mom. But she died like she said she was going to do. And
yeah.
so, it's a different time.
Yeah, you're right.
OnlyFans wasn't around. It's a different time.
Yeah, I shouldn't.
one thing I love
sit
you
here
do,
and judge Fancy's
Greg, on
mom.
social media is you share, is it essays or letters your mom wrote to a newspaper?
Oh no, my mom wasn't an author. She was a columnist for a paper.
A columnist for the St. Louis newspaper?
It was it's called the Kirkwood Webster Times. It was like a smaller newspaper within St. Louis. And then she reviewed books for the main St. Louis paper for 20 years. But thanks for reading that. My mom was a columnist, and it was a humor column, and I try every Mother's Day and her birthday I try to share one of her columns.
Yeah, I didn't know it was just those days because I know I occasionally share it, and they're great. She's very funny.
Yeah, she was
Great writer.
And I didn't appreciate that part of her when I was growing. I read way more of the columns when I'm older, but they are pretty cool.
Yeah.
She was really good.
Yeah. Dylan Burt. Dusty and Aaron should let breakfast talk from time to time. Oh, well, this is awkward. I haven't vetted these. So
Well,
I didn't know.
Dylan, we'd love to. But when he does talk, he just insults us.
It's hurtful, isn't it?
Yeah, we have to keep talking just to keep our confidence up in the podcast.
Brian, we'll let you go for a bit. Let's see how this goes. Why don't you have fun for the next few minutes? Let us know when you want us to tap in. But
Go ahead, funny man.
Ooh, it's getting hot in here. All right, you make a fair point, Aaron.
yeah. Oh,
Dylan would be like, cut him off.
no.
Daniel Johnson. As a person who trapped 11 skunks in
Dusty, what did you? I'm just kidding.
Perfectly
All right,
executed.
sorry.
my mic works as well as you guys, right? So I can speak up anytime I want.
Right.
Nobody's keeping me from talking.
Not bad.
Your
Little
cough sometimes.
Little
But,
accountability. That was good. That was a good impression.
yeah.
I heard it from over there. I thought it was okay.
Daniel Johnson. As a person who trapped 11 skunks in his backyard last summer, well, sounds like you got your own problems, Daniel.
11.
I can't understand why Bad Smell Bates wouldn't let Dusty set some traps. Sounds like Dusty's not only the wisest one, but also the best friend of the bunch. Dusty, thank you for bringing knowledge and friendship to the pod.
Jeez, Dan. Daniel gets it, man.
I don't get the point of what do you mean?
Well, he just is showering me with compliments.
You wouldn't let Dusty sit. Oh,
Dusty offered
he offered to come over and set some
some
traps for you.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that is a very nice thing to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you want him to do that?
Well, I don't really want Dusty at my house if I can help it. I saw his traps at his house.
Yeah.
Underneath the house there.
I got a raccoon I got to trap. I'm just, because it keeps getting in my trash.
Yeah.
The raccoon lifts the lid, gets in there,
They got hands, man.
throws my trash all over their yard.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're wild.
Dusty is a good friend.
Thanks, Daniel Johnson. Thanks for
Hey, man,
bringing
I
it
got to say something
to
real
everyone's
quick.
attention.
Oh, sure. Go
I'm
ahead.
going to get hammered by people that listen to this podcast and my podcast, The Consumers. I said I was the man of the people, and that's Sean. He goes by the listeners
Yeah.
make him the man of the people, and I'm stealing his. And they're gonna.
That's true.
And
That's
they tend
true.
to just.
I
They're
mean,
gonna not leave it
man
alone.
of the people, working man. It seems like
I got
you just
hammered
take
on. I
all
got
the things.
I got hammered on that
I
working.
remember working man.
I got
Your thing there though was so funny.
I got hammered on that hard.
What did they say?
Here we go. Told my working man with Dusty Slate. working man. I'm a working man. I was Netflix. Dusty Slate is the working man. Yeah, I got.
They get it.
The Missouri kid.
Yeah, I got. Yeah, so I'm not the man of the people.
Darren Parrish. Brian, you are probably getting all kinds of advice on your skunk problem, but I would be glad to share what I did. If you have a way to send talk radio or a podcast loudly under the house, it should drive the animals away. I set an amp very close to the vent that runs under the house and left it on while we were at work. Well, I love this idea. It's just all I got to do is just run an amp underneath there, turn on our podcast, maybe my stand-up set, and
Do your stand-up set. This podcast is pretty good. The skunks may hang around.
just do Easy Out,
Yeah.
playing over and over on a loop.
I can get old Bill to record his Magic Johnson joke. Man, you will not have raccoon problems. You won't have a wife or a family, but either. But
Well, I do have somebody out there, professionals out there.
Oh,
They've been there all day today.
nice.
They did find baby skunks underneath.
Wow.
Under
What'd
the
they do
HVAC.
with them?
Well, they're still there.
You gonna keep any?
It's pets.
Yeah, have the
one.
spray removed.
Degland them,
Yeah.
whatever it's called.
Yeah. I mean, originally he was like, we'll trap skunk in the trap, done. And then he came back and he's like, well, we got a problem. We got babies underneath there, and they're not going to come out and get in the trap. So we're going to have to manually go under and get them.
Wow.
And there's a chance they're going to spray. So,
Well, I'm glad you didn't let me do it then.
yeah, that's what Ruth said. So that's what's the latest.
I thought I was bad with the black mold.
I know. You're like, good
going
luck
on
with all
over there,
that. Yeah.
Baby skunks.
Yeah. Under my HVAC.
They're not gonna kill them, are they?
I don't want to know what they're going to do with them. I'm going to just think that they
Yeah, you-
relocate them into a nice wooded area.
Maybe they take them out to the woods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take them on a trip to Belize. If you know what I mean.
There are guidelines. The Tennessee Wildlife Resource Association. You can't just.
You can't kill a skunk.
I don't think so.
What?
I don't know.
I mean, that'd be top of the list of things. It's like, all right, you can kill them if you need to.
I don't know. But maybe if you,
Can you see the hearing on that?
Yeah.
maybe it
All
has to
right,
be.
well, what did he do?
They'll probably read off some scientific name in the trial.
Yeah.
That way the judge wouldn't know that it was a skunk.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then, yeah.
He'd figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
One.
Hold on a second. Yeah.
the Mephitis.
Yeah. And then if the skunk is at the trial, they're going to start, if they'd been listening to all this talk radio, they're going to have some very, very distinct views on the American political system. Judicial system.
Comes in like Alex Jones.
Putting chemicals in the water. There's nothing funnier to me than an Alex Jones rage clip. I mean,
Of him just being
I
mad.
follow an Instagram channel. It's just Alex Jones yelling, and I think it's hilarious.
No, I don't.
I love to watch the guy yell. I'll send you some.
No,
I'll change it.
No, do
I'll
not.
ch- I'm
you
not
will
saying
not change
I'm not saying
me.
you're gonna like him. I'm
No,
saying
I am not gonna like
the
him.
raging is pretty funny.
Do you think Pippi Le Pew would fly today? Do you think that would?
No.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about
because it was
get
derogatory
canceled.
towards the French
No.
or the womanizing.
Toward the cat.
he was aggressive towards
the womanizing.
towards women.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's probably gonna.
I need something like that to get the TWRA on my side.
I need to go take a look. Yeah.
This,
Yeah.
this guy's
You see
Yeah,
what,
you're like, you should have
womanizing
seen what
these
he's
cats.
doing to my cat.
Yeah.
I got a video right here.
Bjorn Johnson.
I think it's
Born? What?
Bjorn.
A lot of
Bjorn?
Johnsons on the list.
Bjorn, not Bjorn.
Not, but yeah, Bjorn. You were kidding around, right?
I wouldn't know how to
Yeah, I was
pronounce
kidding
it,
around.
but Bjorn was definitely not right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll wait. I looked immediately at Aaron to see if that was right, and he didn't respond. I think he thought that's so
I took
bad,
the
he's
bait.
joking.
I took the bait, man.
He's
I
letting
thought you were doing
he's
it,
just letting
yeah.
you fly.
No, I was serious. Yeah, you're right. He's letting me do
letting
my
you-
thing.
letting You talk.
I'm hanging myself here. Had the genuine pleasure of seeing Aaron and Nate in Duluth, Minnesota. Aaron, you absolutely killed it.
Yes, sir. Thank
Nate
you.
killed it. Got to see Dusty in St. Paul, Minnesota, and he crushed as well. Hot show. Waiting for Biscuit Bates to come here. Well, keep waiting.
Where's that?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. There's got to be some sort of benefit for somebody.
There's a lot of lakes up there, right?
Somebody for something.
There's got to be an orphanage in
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Kirby Puckett Foundation, something.
Yeah.
Right?
Let me ask you this: is there a difference between crushing and killing?
Hot
Well,
show.
I heard it, and
Yeah.
as you were reading it, I like to think that maybe he just wanted to switch it up.
Yeah.
You
When
know.
I did the Moon Tower
good
Festival,
writing.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Moon Tower Comedy Festival in Austin. The first night I was on a showcase called The Killers.
Yeah.
And then the next night they took me off a showcase called The Crushers.
Ah.
After I did there, it's like, look, I think we found your ceiling. You can kill,
Yeah.
you can't quite crush.
Yeah.
You think there was a meeting, like a committee? It was like, well, I mean, he's definitely a killer.
No, I was thinking,
I will say
Crusher or killer?
that St. Paul
Crusher or killer?
show I did recently,
yeah.
it was hot. I
Yeah.
had two locals, Eli Hino, and now I can't think of the other guy's name, and I hate that I've even said Eli Hino now.
But he crush.
He's so good. It was so funny.
Yeah.
Such a great show.
That guy, yeah.
I'm blanking on his name, and I hate that I'm doing it, but this is live. We're doing it live.
Yeah, man. That's what happens. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, way to go, Aaron, for killing it.
It's the 17-year anniversary of that clip, by the way. Today.
Doing it live?
We'll do it
Yeah.
live. The Bill O'Reilly
Oh,
classic
yeah.
clip.
Yeah.
Another
Entertainment
great
Tonight.
clip of a guy freaking out.
He
You've
lost
seen
his,
it
yeah, he got
We'll
mad.
do it live.
We'll do it
maybe.
Do
live.
it live. Yeah.
Did Casey Kasem lost his mind on one too?
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, yeah. Chris Berman had a great one
Oh, really?
during the NFL draft.
Tommy Lasorda had my favorite one.
What'd he say?
Dave, I cannot.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
yeah. Just basically, they asked him, Dave Kingman hit. I think he hit 3 home runs, and they asked him. Some guy was like, "What'd you think of Dave Kingman?"
A dumb question.
What I think of Dave Kingman? Guy hit 3,
Yeah.
expletive home runs. Yeah,
Right, right,
and
yeah.
then he just wouldn't like. Goes, guy asked me what I think of Dave Kingman. I'll tell you what I think about Dave Kingman. The guy hit 3 home runs. I said, Dave Kingman hit 3 home runs. The guy hit 3 home runs on us. That's what I think of Dave Kingman. He hit 3 home runs.
James Stanley. Sorry.
Guy hit 3 home runs.
Hey, send me those pictures. Or
Yeah.
remember at the beginning?
I'd already sent him.
I know. I was kidding
Okay.
because you were behind. on
Well,
that.
James Stanley in St. Paul, Minneapolis. Very funny comic. I didn't want to not have it say his name. I'm sorry.
no,
Dave
it's great.
Kingman, great home run hitter. Struck out a lot, but he could hit some monster shots.
He was, yeah, probably hit about 220.
Yeah.
Actually, now back then he probably was like 240 or 250, which now is not so bad. But yeah, he was the first guy that was just
All power.
all power, strikeout all the time.
Played on a bunch of different teams. Mets
mostly, right?
Yeah, but I think he was the cup. All right, we'll move on. But
Seems important to me.
yeah, I saw these guys. Like,
That's what happens when me and Dusty sit out for a bit. We start digging through
Dave Kingman
digging through
stats.
the back of Dave Kingman's baseball card.
And I'll tell you, the baseball card stats aren't even the most interesting.
Yeah,
The other stuff,
Uh-huh.
that's when you really get into the
I like that.
metrics, the new metrics. Yeah, that's That's a podcast right there. I'll tell you what.
What's his OPS plus? Let's get into that.
The advanced metrics is where it really gets interesting.
Brooke McLeod Smith. I love that Roll Tide commercial. I think it's pretty accurate when you're wearing a Bama hat or shirt. For as long as I can remember, my dad always said, Roll Tide to anyone wearing anything Bama. I now say it too if I see someone wearing something representing Bama.
See, I agree. But what I was saying was I think everybody was doing it before the commercial. And then when the commercial came out, like more people were doing it. And I think it's like when you have a cool thing and then it gets overexposed, it's now it's a thing you're doing because you saw the commercial.
They're doing it ironically because of the commercial.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it is funny though. Like the commercial, you're right. It got like that Hump Day commercial where the camel was good. Hump Day, like that was funny. And then I think it got to where everybody was like, people were doing too much of it.
Now, Aaron, we both pointed out a commercial last week that we hated, and we were saying maybe it was AT&T. I think it was Allstate.
Oh.
So
Allstate's usually okay with commercials. What a
Good
a
Hands
miss.
people? Or is that
is that the Mayhem Man?
Allstate stand.
yeah.
Are you in good hands?
That guy.
Yeah,
The
that
guy from yeah.
I like the Mayhem Man.
Yeah, he's great. He was
I always
in
thought the Mayhem Man should be a supervillain in a
he
comic
was
book movie.
in Oz, I think, prison show on HBO.
Oh, okay.
The actor, not as the Allstate Mayhem.
No,
guy.
they had him as the Mayhem Man in Oz. It was
typecast.
It was a very, very serious prison drama.
I'm your prison roommate.
keeps breaking everybody out of jail, just causing mayhem.
It was later seasons. It definitely took a turn.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I like, and this is, you're going to think it's because I have a problem with the peanut butter people, but Reese's, that guy that's like, the voice, what does he say? Like,
Reese's.
It's a guy that does like, he's like real sarcastic, but there's no writing underneath it. He just says things like Reese's.
I haven't seen that.
You've seen it.
Have you seen those Cracker Barrel commercials lately?
Yeah.
Last week, Dusty said, "Who watches commercials?"
Yeah.
And now every time I turn on the TV, he's on.
15 seconds is the new length. That's where it's at.
Hey, let me ask
ESPN
you
shows it a
something,
lot.
man.
That's what you want. Yeah.
You don't have to
on
share this
ESPN.
with me, and maybe you're not allowed to, but you getting any perks from Cracker Barrel?
Well, the manager of Cracker Barrel that we filmed it at was already a fan. I mean, I think, that's already my demographic.
I think we're interested in bigger things than that.
I'm saying I don't care about, let me be honest. I don't care one bit about friendship. I'm saying like,
Are they letting me
biscuits.
eat free?
Yeah.
well,
Did you get a free ball with a weasel tail attached to it?
Yeah.
Something like that.
No,
Couple
you know
items,
what? I didn't ask
the
for that
corn
sort of
muffins?
stuff.
Rock candy.
They paid well.
Okay.
And I feel like they were like, you buy all the stuff you want with this money from our store.
You buy all the Amy Grant compilations that you want. Yeah.
But
I mean, they got a lot in that store.
I want them to let me do a commercial where I just talk about how good their chicken and dumplings is. I mean, that's what I'm into.
The corn muffins, I would say, is for me the best thing going over there.
I think you get chicken and dumplings with a side of hash brown casserole and the corn muffins.
There's a decent
That's a big
stretch.
day.
Green beans are awful good.
Yeah.
Anything about the game, the peg game? You guys?
Well, we did a little a social media. I think there's going to be some of those coming out. We played the peg game. I competed with someone.
That's nice.
We tied.
Is that commercial showed as much in Maine as it is in Tennessee?
I don't know how many Cracker Barrels are in Maine.
But is it based on? That's what I'm asking.
I don't know.
Yeah. I was just curious.
You'd have to talk to a media buyer or something like that.
Well,
Florida, I bet you Florida has more Cracker Barrels than anywhere.
I mean,
Zero Cracker Barrels in Maine.
I can tell you what, a lot of people from Opelika have been texting me about the Cracker Barrel commercial.
Well, this one is saying by 2022, there's one in Maine, 0 in Vermont, Wyoming, Washington, Alaska, and Hawaii.
Well, I'm about to go to Vermont soon in a couple of weeks, so I'll talk to them.
Get out there. Some,
Is it Florida? Florida's in the lead?
yeah. Florida's in the lead with 60.
Yeah.
51 in Tennessee. We got good numbers here.
The headquarters is right here.
Right.
my hometown of Lebanon. So, my
Hey, Little League baseball team's got a benefit down there. I think a couple.
Yeah, I've done shows there. my eye doctor just changed my my contacts prescription because I couldn't, I wasn't very nearsighted.
Okay.
And she said, "All right, we'll fix that, make it better, but your farsightedness is going to be worse." So that I can read those numbers, but not easily now. Last week I could have read that easily, and now I can't.
I need to confess something. I've been looking at Aaron's laptop, and it didn't occur to me that it was up there.
The big TV you were on. Like,
I've been like trying to. That's why I was asking how many in Florida.
well,
I
you
couldn't
probably
see
got
it.
a better view right here than
No, that's beautiful.
screen.
That's real nice.
And I'm getting glasses.
Can you get bifocal contacts?
Yeah, there's but the way you got to put them in
Yeah,
is weird.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
It's
I may start wearing glasses in the pod.
You know who invented the bifocals?
Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
Hey, you know who was able to make the office chair swivel?
Thomas Jefferson.
How'd you know that?
I've seen The Patriot.
Is that what it was in?
I don't remember. Hold on. Mel Gibson's trying to build a chair at the beginning, and then I think I looked it up. And Thomas Jefferson invented the
swivel.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
How about that?
Smart guy.
Yeah, I've been trying to work that into a bit.
So they say, right, Dusty?
Do you have like a chunk
If they
where that
even
would
existed.
fit?
Yeah, I'm doing some chair stuff.
You get,
I am. I'm going to build a thing on chairs.
I got a lot of chair stuff.
You wait. You wait to see my next special, the chairman or whatever.
I like that. The chairman.
You wait, man. You wait.
I believe you.
I got about 5 minutes on chairs right now.
believe.
And it is hot. There's 3 of it that's hot.
Yeah,
There's 2 minutes that
once
are
you figure out the Thomas Jefferson
in
joke.
development. Oh, I figured out the Jefferson joke.
Oh,
That's
okay.
one of the hot parts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got any Magic Johnson jokes?
No, Bill's he cornered the market on those Magic Johnson jokes.
Yeah.
Are you going to bring in Cracker Barrel rocking chairs just to bring it back to what we were talking
I am
about?
now.
Yeah.
That's
I
a great
I feel
idea.
like that's one of the more iconic
Man.
American chairs.
It is. And I've never walked by one of those chairs and thought I wouldn't like to have one.
Yeah. I want to learn how to crochet just so I can
Just so
sit on
you can you have a reason to be in that rocking
Yes.
chair. Yeah.
You can whittle in a rocking chair.
Yeah.
You could do that. You could do that.
Yeah.
Is it when you're
Yeah.
whittling, is it just making a stick smaller or are you building something out of
I
that
think
stick?
it depends on your skill level. I mean, I think if you can't just whittle for the sake of whittling,
But
you
you're
can-
saying somebody's like, hey, I've been whittling and I made this
I carved a figurine.
a flute or a something like that.
I think it would be like a figurine that you would put on the mantle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chess piece or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a whole chess set.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a lot of
Like
whittling.
they did in Shawshank.
Yeah.
Remember?
No.
Brandon Burnett. Bates is the only reason I watch
Double B.
Nateland. The consumers is no different. Oh, well, thank you, Brandon.
Wow.
Well, wait a minute. Bates has only been on.
One
Wow.
episode.
Brandon
I
Burnett.
actually pulled this from the consumers' comments.
You're cherry picking comments like that?
Well, when they make me look
Come
good.
on.
Brandon Burnett having 2 B's and Brian Bates having 2 B's
There's
really
something,
makes
yeah.
it.
I couldn't think of anything else.
That's suspicious.
If you're going to do a fake comment, at least come up with a better name.
Get some new initials.
Yeah.
That's fair. Leah Malonis. I've never written in before, but I had to let Aaron know I think we had the same Uber Lyft driver.
Yeah.
Last February, I was in Nashville and took an Uber downtown. When we got in the car, the smell was disorienting. The worst smell I've ever experienced in my life. To make matters worse, I was 5 months pregnant, so my sense of smell was heightened. From Aaron's description, it sounds like the same driver.
So
Could
this
have been.
guy's keeping a job because nobody will give him a bad review. You got to negatively review that guy.
Yeah.
Serious question. Do you think you leave him a bad review or do you think you say something to him in person?
I think you leave a review, 5 stars,
Yeah.
but in that comment section, you go, this guy smells really bad and somebody needs to tell him.
But I don't think you're
The
given
car.
that option in any of these apps.
I
Can you
always get
leave-
the comment section.
You can
Really?
leave a
on
comment?
Lyft, yeah.
Okay. I've never seen that, but I do it. Just go, hey, 5 stars, but
He drove well. He's a good driver, but I also was blinded by the smell. My vision was blurry. That's how bad it smelled.
5 stars, safe driver. It's not enough to stand in the shower. You got to do stuff.
You have to use soap. Get some crema, you know?
Yeah.
Do something.
Cremo.
So it was
He took the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Get some coffee too.
Yeah,
Either way, put something on there.
Get in
it wasn't just the car. It was him.
Some of that out.
It was he was becoming the car and the car was becoming him. It was this
I think I would just criticize the car.
Singularity.
No. I think you go for the guy.
It was him.
You go for because if his car smells bad and he doesn't know it, it's because he smells bad.
I remember the old urban legend about the guy who became
that was true, wasn't it, Dusty?
chemically fused with his couch.
Oh yeah, I think that is true.
No.
Bed sores.
Yeah, bed sores.
You get so many bed sores, and as your body starts to heal, it just kind of.
So like, where's the line between the couch and the guy?
Yeah,
that's kind of how it was.
He grew into the couch.
Yeah, he was there so long that he became chemically fused with it. He had to be, surgically separated.
He should have had linen. You can't. That won't happen with linen. Apparently, you don't get bed sores with linen.
I think if you weigh 1,800 pounds and you don't leave for a year, I think you're still going to soak into some linen.
Yeah,
I think so. I think it's just like I don't think it was the
1,800 pounds.
I don't know how big he was. I think he was a biggin. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's world record type stuff, though, I think.
Yeah.
That's Guinness.
Yeah.
When you guys were in grade school, did you look up world's fattest man?
I knew all that stuff.
Yeah. We had the
fattest
Ripley's
twins?
Believe It or Not book and then the Guinness book.
Yeah.
Great.
The guy with the longest fingernails. I remember that guy.
They curled up.
Yeah.
And the world's tallest man.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Bermuda Triangle stuff.
He was from Missouri,
I had all kind of books like that.
He was?
I think so, or Illinois.
You had Bermuda. You were looking at
I had a bunch of conspiracy books when I was a kid. Bermuda Triangle, Bigfoot, aliens. You know, before you could just Google it.
The Yeti. You were reading Yeti stuff?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Guys, let Brian talk more.
His voice is wearing out.
Sound like an old car starting up.
Dallas Dwight. I'm in a country rock band and have some experience in the industry. When Dusty says the label works with the stations, that's 100% true, and it's why you don't hear any up-and-comers on country radio. If you think any songs are chosen by popularity or what fans want, you're wrong. It's all money as usual.
Yeah.
All right. Is that what we were arguing?
Yeah, a little bit.
That songs are what does that mean? Songs are chosen by popularity?
The labels take an artist and they go, we're gonna make you popular. And they just put it out there. And then they just make artists.
Okay. Can they do like what comedy did and just like go right to the people on YouTube or something?
Well, YouTube and TikTok and stuff like that does allow for people to do that. And that's why those things are huge.
Right.
Because you can start to make your own way finally, rather than, the labels owning everything.
Yeah. I mean, when I got into comedy, it was it wasn't labels. But it was more like, there's some people that just sort of made decisions and.
Yeah, the internet has really opened it up for people to make their own way. A lot of people just they just go right to YouTube with their specials because you just can get the views right away, and then people can just reach you, and it's great. But the comedy is not the same as music. I mean, they really have a stranglehold on music. That's why it's like there's so many country artists that I like, but I never could turn on country radio and hear them. And if they played them, people would like it.
Jesse Colbeth. Aaron can't judge Nate for not watching Shawshank.
What you're like arguing? We're not.
No, I was thinking, man.
No one's disagreeing with you.
I was thinking, actually. You made me think.
Yeah.
I feel bad for these guys.
Yeah. There's musicians that are very popular that have no
Aaron,
money.
I do. I mean,
they have no
money.
money.
You get to go right to the people.
That's true.
There's some country musician that's as good as you are in comedy, and then nobody knows who he is.
You're right.
And then sometimes you get signed with a label, they give you a big deal up front, and then you blow through that money, and now you're like, you just owe the label. They're like in debt, even though they're very popular. Now, obviously we should be better at managing our money, but you're young, you move to Nashville, you go, oh, I got a hit, I just got this money, I'm big time now.
There is that thing, man, that at a few times in my career, I was like, well, I don't need to save this money. I'm going to be huge.
It's never going to stop.
I'm going to be big.
Yeah.
And then I was like, looking in the mirror one day, I'm like, I may not be huge.
I really need that $300.
I need to start saving some of this money.
That's why I'm like, this could end at any time. I got to hang on. I got to figure out how I can take care of my family, even if this ends.
Yeah.
It's not going to end, man. But
I'm just saying, I like to, you like to plan ahead. Who knows? There's some record label listening right now being like, we got to shut that guy down.
He knows too much.
Yeah. Me and Dallas Dwight out here.
blowing the whole thing open.
Attention. This is a public service announcement from your thighs. I'm your thighs for this ad read.
Oh.
I've been trapped in pants and ignored all winter long. I am pale.
Rubbing against each other.
But I'm still powerful, and I'm ready for the ultimate thigh liberation. Enter the lined swim collection from Chubbies.
Or chummies.
Swim trunks so incredibly stylish, so comfortable, it feels illegal, but it's not. We checked. I've been wearing the 5.5. Okay, I'm no longer your thighs.
Now you're
I'm Aaron
scared.
Weber
Okay.
again. I've been wearing the 5.5 inch length. It's a good length. You should go shorter than you think.
Really?
It's a better, I think it's a good look.
Okay. I've always said with guys, the shorter the shorts, the better it is.
You got to let them breathe, dude.
Yeah.
Chubbies is fun. They have
2.4 is what I wear.
wild prints louder than your uncle at a 4th of July barbecue. Lines that prevent chafing so as not to ruin the vibe, and the 4-way stretch that will move with you wherever you're going this summer. These trunks don't just make a splash. Oh, no. They make waves of confidence, of compliments, of pure summer joy. And when it's time to towel off and hit your next move, throw on the Chubbies Everywhere shorts built for your all summer adventures with no restrictions and zero responsibilities. Use code NATE for 20% off at chubbiesshorts.com. Chubbies, let the thighs out, let the good times roll. Whether you're getting dressed for your workday, a workout, or a weekend getaway, Chubbies has you covered. For a limited time, Chubbies is giving our viewers 20% off your order with our code NATE at chubbiesshorts.com. That's code NATE at chubbiesshorts.com. Support our show and tell them we sent you. Don't blend in with the crowd. Stand out with Chubbies.
Jesse Colbeth. Aaron can't judge Nate for not watching Shawshank if he's never watched Karate Kid.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
What are you talking
I always say 2 best movies, Shawshank Redemption,
Karate Kid. It's everybody's top 2.
Yeah.
I was watching it the other night. It was on
Shawshank.
TV. No, Karate Kid.
Okay.
And I still love it. I feel like it holds up.
Yeah.
But I told Ruth, I said, I grew up with it though. So I don't know if I'm tainted. Like if I just saw it now for the first time, but I think this is dumb. I would be curious. If
What's your
Karate
favorite?
Kid 1 is very good.
What's your favorite
agree.
part? What's your favorite quote?
Well, obviously
so
it's
many.
when he well, I don't know if it's so much of a quote, but it's that moment where Daniel has been told to wax on, wax off this whole time. He's painting the deck. He's sanding the deck, and he finally
Sanding the floor.
becomes frustrating. He's like, I'm just doing your work out here. And then Mr. Miyagi doesn't put his hands up and he goes, wax on, wax off. And as he's doing it, he's throwing punches.
Yeah.
So he's blocking them. And in that moment, he realizes, whoa, this guy's been teaching me karate the whole time. And I got chills right now telling you about it.
Wouldn't it be great if Daniel just still didn't get it?
But what about the work I've been doing?
But I've been doing all this. I still want to learn some moves.
It's a great moment where you're like, it just is like the music kicks in and it's just like,
It's amazing.
whoa.
I think my favorite part is when I don't. You have just things that stick in your head. Maybe it's not my favorite part, but when he was asking him when he could learn something, and he was like, after. He goes, after what? He goes, after.
Yeah. I mean, Pat Morales, is that the guy? Pat Morales or Pat Morabito or something?
Pat Morito.
He's great.
Pat Morita.
Happy Days. I was watching an episode of Columbo. He was in that. And it's just like,
I think he won an Oscar for that role, didn't he? For Mr. Miyagi?
Maybe
I
he
don't know
did.
about that. But
Or
He was in a
nominated.
movie with Jay Leno.
Yeah. They were the cops, right?
Yeah, it was Pat
One of those
Morita
buddy
and Jay
cop
Leno.
movies.
Yeah.
yeah.
But you already know you've heard the wax on. It's kind of like part of our pop culture.
It's in the zeitgeist,
It's in the
as we like
zeitgeist.
to say. On
It
the,
is worth
on the
one
podcast.
watch, though.
Yeah, I'm sure it's.
You don't have
great,
to do,
but
you don't have to do 2 and 3, and then the Hillary
Right.
Swank one,
and then all of Cobra Kai. I don't have
I
to.
mean,
do
I
that.
recommend it. but-
Yeah, I'm sure it's great, but I think Jesse's being a little facetious.
but
here.
you would have
I don't know.
known.
You think Shawshank and Karate Kid are even in the same
Yeah.
conversation?
When you,
I mean, Karate Kid is based. I mean,
I mean, Pat
it's basically
Morita
y'all's
is
Spy
basically
Kids.
Pat Morita is basically Morgan Freeman of his time,
Yeah. Everybody's always
and
saying that.
everybody's always saying
Yeah.
Daniel LaRusso is practically whatever that tall guy.
Tim,
Andy Dufresne.
Yeah.
but you would have known, Aaron, if you watched that movie first time, you would have seen it coming. That the whole wax on, all that stuff he's doing is training him. Because
Yeah.
now I feel like there's been other movies that have kind of.
I didn't see it coming.
No, we didn't in 1984.
Yeah.
But it's in the zeitgeist, like
It's
you
like,
said.
are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
I think
Yeah.
when Nate,
Yeah.
if he ever
This
watches
thing
Shawshank,
Yeah.
I think he'll see the big reveal.
This guy's 3 steps
because
ahead.
it probably gotten his.
I don't think so.
I don't
man.
think so either. With
I
Shawshank,
don't think so. I don't think he's going to have a clue. I think he's going to go in completely blind.
I just feel like there's.
I don't think he
things-
knows it's a prison movie.
Okay,
So
you're right.
it's like I'm excited to see him watch it.
It's a beautiful movie.
It's the best
Shawshank.
movie
It
ever
is.
made.
It is a
so
fantastic.
Good. It is so
movie.
good.
Yeah,
It is.
It's the Karate Kid of the '90s.
You did a video one time where they put the classical music on for
Yeah.
everybody to play. You did something.
Oh,
else
yeah.
there,
did
where
you?
I
I was with
changed
you.
the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the music that you did?
I don't remember.
It was
exactly.
a great
I
video.
don't remember exactly what
you
we did.
used the
I
footage from Shawshank. And
Yeah,
oh,
I
that's
used to
great.
make a lot of. Went through a phase where I was like editing movies and stuff, like alternate endings.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
movies
So
and
funny.
stuff.
That's
It was
great.
really great.
let's do one more. Mike Terry,
Oh, Mike Terry.
you know Mike?
Well, every time Mike Terry comes up, we read a lot of his comments. Mike Terry does announcing at the Grand Ole Opry, and he also runs a radio station on Sirius XM.
Oh,
So every time this name, this is not him,
oh, okay.
but every time it comes up, I go, "Oh, Mike Terry." He said, "I'm not that guy."
yeah,
Yeah.
But we've read a lot of Mike Terry quotes on here.
In Utah, the game jackpot is known as Flies Up. We're talking about the game. Well, I think that's a great.
What's jackpot?
That's what I said. I never heard it in my life.
Aaron played it.
It's a playground game. You have a ball. You throw it in the air. You assign a point value to the ball when you throw it, and then it's like first person to get to 5,000 or whatever. It's just a game you play on the playground.
Is the person throwing the ball neutral, or is that one of the competitors? Does it rotate?
If you get the whatever the amount is, then you become the guy
Okay,
that throws
gotcha.
it. It's just there's no real winner. It's just like you're basically just throwing the ball and trying to catch it. Yeah.
Catch.
But sometimes you call bankrupt,
Ooh.
and then they catch it and they lose all their points
Why would they catch it?
because maybe they're not paying. They're just
You say it
swept
last
up in it.
second?
Yeah, or
Oh.
I don't know.
Everybody
It's
wants
like-
to catch the ball.
Why does anyone lose at Simon Says? It's like you get swept up in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Flies Up. That's a great
Flies
name.
up. That sounds like a zipper.
I love it. And I'll be at Wise Guys May 16th and 17th. So, all right. This week, a few weeks ago, we talked about the Revolutionary War. We talked about the first army, Continental Army, led by George Washington. And next month is the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army being created.
Wow.
Next month.
Wow.
So let's talk a little bit about the Army.
Let's do it.
Now, Greg, you've got a little background in the Army.
I do.
Yeah. And Dusty, you do as well.
I joined the army.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
I never
long were
got
you?
in? But I got arrested before I got to go in.
Oh, really?
But I did join.
And
Took the physical.
Did you just go to a recruiter's office, or did
Yeah.
he recruit you?
Yeah, I went. I was like trying to get out of my hometown. I was trying to do anything just to have a different life for, and went in. I go, hey, I want to join the army.
Was it be all you can be? Was that the motto back
Yeah.
then? Oh, yeah.
I was working
a
at
good
Western
phrase.
Sizzlin',
Yeah.
and an older guy came in there, and he just started. He wasn't a recruiter; he was a construction worker, but he just kept telling me these stories of all this fun stuff he did overseas in the army, and I was like, "That sounds fun."
Mhm.
It was pre 9/11.
Yeah, it was 2001,
Right before.
early in the year. There was
Wow.
no war, at least what they were telling us,
Yeah.
and I thought, "This is great."
Yeah.
You're like
join-
American Sniper. That's what got him to go. Well, he saw the war and the
Yeah, I think it's completely different motivations. Mine was, I'm going to get free college, a little bit of money, and we're never going to go to war because who's going to mess with America?
Mhm.
That was my mentality.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
If you'd have gone, what do you think you'd be doing now?
I don't know. I had a plan. I was going to be a cook. And so my idea kind of was I get a little money, get a little college, I learn to cook, and then I get out. Maybe I become a chef and open my own restaurant.
Dusty's?
Yeah, something. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what I was thinking. That was my future plan.
Oh, speaking of restaurants, you want to mention your old place, Hyman's?
Oh, yeah. Well, Hyman's, where I used to work in Charleston, South Carolina, Hyman's Seafood. They put my name plaque on the table that says, because they always, when famous people come in and eat there, they would put their name down. It says so-and-so ate here.
Yeah.
And I'm told mine is on a table with Limp Bizkit and Hulk Hogan.
Whoa.
So
great,
it's
man.
very fun. I mean,
All of Limp Bizkit or just Fred Durst?
I don't know. Doesn't. I wasn't there when it happened, but they put me down, and we all joked that they could have put this plate in the wait station by the trash can. They could have put it on the food running line.
Yep.
Anywhere, because I ate all over the restaurant.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's fun. And they also did another thing where they put up my picture on the wall. They do this for people that came in. And so they got a QR code there where you can go watch my Waiting Tables video on YouTube. And they just took these pictures from my Instagram. This was my last day, and anybody working there, I just took a picture with them.
That's great.
But a few of the people, like the guy, second to the bottom on the right, far right is Ed. I'm sorry. Gosh, far left, second from the bottom. Ed, yeah, he was the chef for a long time. I don't know if he's still there, but this guy, Hyman's has a gigantic menu, but Ed could cook anything.
Yeah.
Ed was the best. If you ever get Ed to make you an off-menu item that he just created, it would blow your mind. But yeah, it's a hot spot.
So that's quite an honor. Congratulations.
It is, just to be recognized
it's
a little
huge,
by.
man.
I
Yeah.
spent 10 years in Charleston, almost 10 of that at Hyman's, and so it's fun.
That's awesome.
Get a little
Congratulations.
recognition from my second hometown.
Yeah.
Some of these people I don't know, and a couple of the people here I still keep in contact with, but
Yeah, you told me just in Colorado last week you
oh yeah.
got together with some friends from Hyman's.
Well, I just mean these pictures in particular, but Hyman's people are now all over the country. I see Hyman's people all over. I was in Denver. My friend Jessica, she came out with her husband. They're both lawyers now, and they, came to my show, and we hung out.
Yeah. It's a bit like the Army. They did their time.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Now they're out in the country.
We had cigars at a place in Denver called the Brown Palace, which apparently was a very fancy, place at one point in time. Very old, and it was great.
Let me tell you this. The smallest steps forward can make a big difference in your financial future. Enter Chime. When you open a Chime checking account, you're one step closer to a better financial future with no maintenance fees, fee-free overdraft up to $200, or getting paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit. Making progress has never been easier. What a scam the overdraft fees are.
Such
You
a
ever been hit with those? It's
Yeah.
like, I don't have money, and you want more money.
Mhm.
What's even happening here? I mean, that's my favorite feature that Chime has is they allow you to overdraft up to $200 with no fees because they get, sometimes life happens. Dude. You need a little cash.
Sometimes you got stuff coming out you don't even know.
That's what I'm saying. Get my pay when you set up qualifying direct deposits of $200 or more. Get your pay any day. Plus free transfers within 24 hours or $2 fee applies to get funds instantly. This is the best decision you can make for your financial future. Make progress towards a better financial future with Chime. Open your account in 2 minutes at 2 minutes.
So easy.
You got 2 minutes on you. Pause this? What are you listening to? Pause this, open up your account in 2 minutes at chime.com/Nate. That's chime.com/Nate. Chime feels like progress. Now lean in because I got a little bit of a legal language here. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. Members FDIC. Spot me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Fees apply out of the network ATMs. My pay eligibility requirements apply. Credit limits range $20 to $500. $2 fee applies to get funds instantly. Chime checking account required. Go to chime.com/disclosures for details.
All right. So you would have, if you joined the Army, you would probably be a chef now. My uncle fought in Vietnam. He got drafted and he was a cook, and he still, to this day, does the cooking around the house.
Wow.
Because, they taught him that.
Yeah.
So, but then how long after you signed up did you get arrested?
Well, I went to the physical. And I don't know entirely what I can say on the podcast, but when I got back from my physical, my recruiter was like, he goes, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but I know there's a particular extracurricular activity that you enjoy, and so you're going to get another test in 30 days. So if you want to do that, do it tonight. And that night I got arrested. And so my
it's his fault.
He went home and he's like, no badminton for 30 days.
So
I read you loud and clear.
No trampoline.
My court date came after my ship-off date, so I couldn't go. I could have went. My lawyer was working out this thing where I could go kind of in lieu of probation and all that stuff. But one day I just had this weird kind of epiphany, and I went kind of busted into my lawyer's office, and I was like, I don't want to go to the Army. I don't want to go to the Army.
Yeah.
So I ended up with a lot of penalties for my arrest. I got quite a bit of probation, quite a bit of suspended license, a lot of fees. I really got hammered.
Yeah.
Had you been training for boot camp up until that point?
Yeah. I quit smoking cigarettes, and I was running, and I was getting in shape. I was learning my Greek alphabet. And
are you still good at that?
I don't remember. No, I don't know any.
When
of
you
it.
say a number,
did you know the ranks?
I was learning the ranks.
Oh.
I don't know anything now, but I was learning all that stuff. I mean, this was over 20 years ago. But I was into it. I mean, I was ready to go.
Yeah.
I was even when we went and did the physical, it's like a lot of the guys were like drinking and partying the night before. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm done with that.
Wow.
And then, so then I got arrested for really a pretty small thing. There was no reason to get arrested for this. He could have very easily just called my parents, had them come pick me up.
Mm-hmm.
But instead I got arrested and then, was an alcoholic for 10 years. So, he could have, he could have spared me some of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So is that how your went?
Mine went a little different. Yeah. I spent the first year of college at the United States Military Academy at West Point.
Wow.
Yeah, I went to West Point and did the whole first year, the whole plebe year, and it was the most difficult thing I've ever been. It was crazy. Yeah.
Well, it's really hard to get into, right?
Yeah. Now I was recruited to wrestle there.
Okay.
But I think I would have got in. I mean, I had pretty good grades and I had all the other extracurricular stuff. And
it always blows my mind when there's a comic that's very good at comedy, but also very good at a sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was good, and
not golf.
Yeah.
Golf doesn't count to me.
Yeah. Or ultimate frisbee or something.
Yeah.
I could see some comics being good at that. Yeah. But
I understand golf's hard, but I'm just mean a real physical activity.
Sure.
Yeah. So I went and it was, I mean, you're in the Army. You are in the Army. You basically, I graduated in June, and by late June, I was going through basic training up there. And then the whole, I mean, I don't remember a lot about it, but the whole plebe year, the whole freshman year.
What's plebe mean?
Plebeian?
Yeah, plebeian. Yeah, from the Greeks.
That helps.
Roman Greek. Yeah.
You're like a freshman.
The lowest,
the
lowest level of citizen.
Okay.
Yeah,
a member of the common people. That's what it meant in ancient Rome.
Yeah. And in West Point, it meant that you were
Sean.
going to get hazed every day, and
yeah.
they just your whole. And it wasn't like funny hazing, like in a fraternity. It was like serious. Just you had to. I mean, I can't even remember half of it, but I know like you had to stand in formation 3-4 times a day. And when you're standing in formation, you're just standing at attention, basically like this. And then all the upperclassmen just go around and they inspect your shoes to see if they're polished. They inspect your brass to see if it's polished. And they quiz you on all, and you have to know all this stuff. You have to know the front page of the New York Times every day. And the front page of the sports of the New York Times. And you at least be conversant in it. And you can't just tell them. It was like, it had to be reported in a format. Like, Warren, what happened in the news today? Sir, today in the New York Times, it was reported that Ronald, Warren? Ronald, are you on a first name basis with the commander in chief, Warren? No, sir. Sir, did I tell you to start over, Warren? No, sir. And then, so you had to do that, and then you had to know all the menus, and you had to say them in a certain way.
What menus?
for what for every meal. You know, the whole core ate together in these
Like
giant
the Cracker Barrel menu down the street.
Yeah, no, you didn't have to the Cracker Barrel.
Okay.
And then you had to like there was all like every now and then you had what they like days duty or the days. So they would warn, give me the days. You'd be like, sir, and there was like 30 of them. Sir, the days. There are 300 days until graduation. There are 230 days until ring weekend. There are 110 days until Army beats Navy at Veterans Memorial Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh, Warren? Pittsburgh? Did they move Veterans Memorial Stadium from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh, Warren? Did they? Who authorized that? Was it your buddy Ronnie? Is that who did that, Warren?
It sounds like a nightmare, but also it feels like that's how you really create a team.
Yeah, it is.
You all go through the same torment.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yes, they have. Yeah, you are just miserable, and the only people you have to lean on are your classmates.
And they've all gone through it too, or are going through it right now.
And it is like, and there is humor. They are funny, and it didn't seem funny at all when you're going through it. But everything I look back on, and some of them are really funny. Like I remember one time, you're supposed to look straight ahead. Like you're standing at attention, you look straight ahead. And, every now and then, if you're just standing there for 10 minutes, you're just like looking around. So I'm like kind of looking around, and this guy sneaks up behind and goes, "You looking to buy this place, Warren?" Yeah. And then like you had to walk along the walls. You could not walk down the center of the hallway, and you had to walk 120 steps per minute. It's called pinging. And you can't just like round a corner. You have to square. I can still square the corner, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, you have to square your corners. And then it's also a hard school. Like, you're taking 18 hours and everybody gets a minor in engineering. You're taking a lot of math and science. So much math and science that when I transferred to Missouri, I never had to take one more math and science class for to get my degree. And there, you're always in trouble, and it doesn't feel like fake trouble. You feel like I'm in real trouble here.
Yeah.
And then you would get, your life, you're just so sleep deprived, and your life is just all about when can I go to sleep? And it's all controlled until I think Saturday at noon, they stop messing with you. And basically you couldn't leave, but you could do little activities on the base,
Mm-hmm.
If you're an upperclassman, you could maybe go to New York or something like that or whatever. But, from about noon Saturday till 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock Sunday night, you could kind of do some stuff, and they didn't mess with you, unless you got in trouble like I did, and then you had to just walk back and forth on it's called area duty. You just march back and forth on the area, and they'd do a whole nother inspection and yell at you. Yeah.
What did you do to get in trouble?
Like, this is what was crazy. I like talking online or so, I knew what my friends in real college were doing and not getting in trouble. And I was in trouble for talking online, or something like that. Or
talking in line, like
in formation, or, talking to
not
somebody.
like a chat room.
Yeah. Not
That it did make it sound like you were in a chat room.
yeah, it was
You
weird.
were like, "Get me out of here!"
Yeah.
What's
Actually,
the problem?
I need to clear that it was 87
Yeah.
when I was there, or
Okay.
86 and 87. So yeah, I went and I wrestled there too. I always talk about how hard it is, but I forget that I had my back was messing with me, and I was a little crazy about it. And I think I spent like six weeks or a long time just in the hospital, and they couldn't figure out. And it wasn't and it was like, that was the greatest 6 weeks ever there. That didn't have to do anything. I figured out a way to order pizzas it was like, so I did get a break.
Lieutenant Dan, ice cream. Ice cream.
Yeah, it was basically like that, man.
I've talked to Will O'Donnell, our friend and comic, and me and Will are like the exact same age. And right out of high school, he went to the Marines.
Yeah.
So we had this whole conversation about how we basically did everything in the opposite. And then he had his first daughter at like 19. So now he has grown kids.
Yeah.
He's retired from the military, and he's basically, relaxing, right? And I didn't go, and I wasted a bunch of time, and now I have very young children, and we just went the opposite direction.
He didn't retire from the military though.
Did he not retire?
No, I mean I think he did 6
He draws
years.
some money though.
I don't know, man. I don't think so. Like he's got to work. Like he didn't do the full 20 or whatever.
He told me during basic training, you would go to bed really early, but you're so tired that you can easily go to sleep.
Oh yeah.
And then when they wake you up at 4:30 or whatever in the morning, when just your eyes open, you're like, oh, you got to start it again. Like just waking up and realize the day started. He said he loves Sundays because church, they wouldn't mess with you at church. You could go to, but
I mean, he's the Marines, and
sleep at church.
so it's not the Army, but man, the stuff he was telling me that he went through, like not even hazing, just training, is like, oh gosh, man, that's awful.
Yeah, that's the Marines is a whole nother level, I think. I mean, what we did, it was a lot of, it wasn't as much physical hazing as I think that you get as an enlisted guy in the Marines, but it was, I remember the summer basic training, I was pretty quickly identified as a screw up. Like, and there was this guy, Cadet Pulford, that he was a senior and he took a special dislike to me or a special interest in me, and he was like always riding me, and everybody like in the whole battalion knew like, yeah, Warren is always like, he's always screwing up. And then you start over and then in the academic thing. And I was like, all right, man, just, it's going to be I'm gonna start over fresh. I'm gonna keep a low profile. Nobody's gonna know who I am, and Cadet Pulford was in my new academic thing. Yeah. And I think he even was like, I'm gonna, Warren's getting a fresh start. So the first day you had to deliver the upperclassmen's laundry, their dry cleaning, their uniforms. And I was delivering his dry cleaning. I guess I was dragging his shirt on the floor or something. And he stood in the middle of the hallway. He was like, Warren, like just at that moment, everybody in the whole company knew and they were like, man, this kid is already has a reputation. How do you make somebody that mad that quick? So,
and you got to think in your situation, at some point you're like, you guys recruited me.
There's no talking back. There's none of that. Like, I mean, I thought a lot, but even like, if you did that, you're a dead man for 6 months. Like,
did you see guys do that though? Did you guys ever snap back?
I saw this guy Lissick one time just like give kind of a look to one of the guys, and his life was miserable for like 3 weeks, like a different kind of miserable. It was your life was going to be miserable the whole time. But yeah, from what I understand, they've changed quite a bit of it. A lot of it was, I think, maybe unnecessary because it's especially for an entire year. Because it's not that the regular Army is not like that. There's a lot of discipline and a lot, but you got to do a lot of stuff. But it's not. It's more like a job. The regular Army, I think. But yeah, that was.
So the goal of West Point is you're becoming officers.
Yeah,
and you'll eventually oversee the Dusties.
Yeah, I'd have been ordering Dusty around.
Yeah. Slay.
Yeah. You come out as second lieutenant. So you go for 4 years, and then you owe the government 5 years after that. You owe them 5 years, and you can quit. When I was there, at least you can quit anytime up to the first day of school your junior year. And I remember the first day of school that they were doing their announcements up front, and they're like, juniors, welcome to a career in the military. It's not like
because they're like, you're in it now. Yeah.
You're in. You can't leave. If you do leave, or you flunk out, or you quit, you're going to do Dusty. You're going to the regular Army. You're not an officer anymore. Like, you're going to pay us one way.
You have to retroactively pay the tuition and everything too, right?
Yeah,
if you were to drop out.
I don't know about that. And it was like, I got a salary.
Yeah. Okay.
Like you not only were you like, they paid for everything and your books and uniforms and everything, but I got, you got a little bit of money.
Well, NIL deal.
You ever see the movie Officer and a Gentleman?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Richard Gere.
I got nowhere else to go.
And Lou Gossett Jr.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite movies.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
So if you'd have stayed, what was your career plans?
Man, it's funny. I think about like, why did I go?
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, there's a few reasons. I think it was like I went to a high school. It was a public high school, but a lot of my friends were pretty smart, well off, and they were all like going to these upper crust Eastern colleges, and I was lazy and just never really I was focused on wrestling. So I was like, and I never thought about where I was going to go to school until wrestling season was over my senior year. But I was getting all these calls from West Point, a couple other places, but West Point, I was like, well, this is, and I'd tell people that, and everybody that you tell about it, is like, West Point, that is, you know? And so as a kid, I'm 17 years old. I'm like, well, I win. I beat everybody. This is, I didn't think about whether I wanted to do it or not.
Yeah.
I was like, Liz Miller was the prettiest girl in our high school, and we were sitting next to each other in journalism. And I said, "Hey, Liz, I got a call from the coach at West Point, and they want me to go to West Point." She was like, "That's cool. That's why I went to like that." We didn't go out. Like we didn't.
You did it for Liz Miller.
Yeah.
I like to think that this is the first time you've told that part of the story, and Liz Miller's watching right now, going, "You did that for me, Greg?"
Yeah. I've met her husband, you know, and
really?
Yeah, and
Bobby.
they came out to a show.
But she doesn't know this detail, though.
I don't think it's going to change anything, Dusty. She's a surgeon, like a renowned surgeon.
Whoa.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
did well then.
She did real well, and her husband's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
And,
She should have went to West Point.
Yeah. It all worked out for Liz. Man.
Thank God for her this happened.
She's and
Liz is watching, like, I said that?
yeah.
I don't remember saying that.
Yeah, she.
You're leaving? Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Why did you leave there?
I mean, I think it's weird. I just didn't. I think when you're that young, I was doing the math. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get out of here when I'm 21. I'm gonna graduate. Then I have 5 more years. I'll be 26 years old. That's most of my life. I don't want to commit to. I don't want to commit to my whole life. I mean, I was just thinking I can't commit to anything for this long. I also, I lived a pretty strict lifestyle, and my dad was pretty strict. I was wrestling, it wasn't crazy strict, but I wanted to party a little bit. And I also thought I wanted to be a comedian back then.
Yeah.
I really did. I remember doing impressions of the upperclassmen, and I was like, and I chickened out. I got home, and I got home from West Point, and they were like, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, "I think I'm gonna go to Los Angeles and be a comedian." I don't think I was 18 yet, or I don't know what.
Yeah.
And my dad was not. He was like, "Yeah, all right, well, yeah, okay. I'll give you this amount of money, that much." And then I sort of got scared. And 2 days after I got out of the military, the coach from Missouri came to my house and was like, "Hey," he had dinner with us, and he was like, "I want to offer you a scholarship to Missouri." And I sort of like, my dad didn't force me in that direction, but he sort of was like, "Hey, if you go this other way to LA, like, are you?" And I wasn't done. I still thought I could be good in college and wrestling too.
Right.
But I kind of chickened out a little bit. Yeah. But I remember, like, when you quit West Point, you have to go, like, you have to tell your squad leader, and then you have to tell your platoon leader, and these are all like college kids, and then you have to tell that, and then you have to go to the officers, the guys in the Army, and you have to tell them. Like, I had to go through like 9 people, and they'd all talk to me, and they'd be like, "Well, we think you're doing okay. You had some, your grades are good. You screwed up a few times, but I think you can be a good soldier." And I'd be like, "Yeah, man, yeah." And they'd be like, "All right." I'd be like, I still want to quit though, and then I'd have to go to the next guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff's hard.
I thought I was letting my country down. I
wanted to quit football. I only played 1 year of football. I wanted to quit in 8th grade. And I came out I had all my stuff, and my mom goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "I'm quitting." And she was like, "Go tell your coach." And then I just went and put my stuff back in the locker and played the rest of the year.
Yeah.
It's hard to be like, I'm quitting.
Yeah.
And for you to have, and I know just from the physical, you had to go through so many people talking to them about, substances you might have done, and you had to deny them no matter what. So you would go through several. And then they would have like a real mean guy, a real cool guy, a real cool hot chick who was like, kind of like, "Hey, it's no big deal, whatever. You mess around with some stuff, just tell us."
But I love a man in uniform.
Yeah. But you have to just go, "No, I've never done it. No, I've never done it."
You must have looked like a real dirtbag, because I didn't get any of this. Like, they look at that guy. Because I didn't have to do any of that.
Yeah.
I had to, they tested me for color blindness, and
I lied a lot.
I
lied a lot.
Yeah.
I looked at the Army recruitment website for basic training. it's
But
very
you're too old. You can't go in the army, man.
But
you're
Aaron
doing
could.
good with comics. I mean, you're doing a good.
It's
I
called
think
research.
I
It's
think we're
career's
hard
going-
up right now.
Yeah.
Your career's
Aaron
going well.
it's the ages
You got these
17
benefits.
to 35.
Oh man,
Eric,
dude, if I'm getting drafted, things are bad.
We're not gonna get drafted.
Y'all should go to Dusty's bunker. If I'm getting
Yeah,
drafted,
yeah.
things are.
But I
Not
did.
good.
There's an online quiz you can take to
Yep.
see if you want to do it, what you would be best suited for, which you could do on there if you'd like. But it's very interesting. They know the stereotypes about the Army and they address them. They're like, is it like the movies where the drill sergeant's making us blah blah blah, and then they'll be like, no, it's not like that.
It is. They yell at you a lot.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm sure they're just trying to get you in, but I think it. Didn't you just say it's probably died down some from what it was in the
West
80s?
Point has. I mean, West Point is not. I mean, it's the whole freshmen get hazed. I think if it goes on, it doesn't go on for an entire year.
There's some stat out there. I couldn't quote it at all, but it's something like a large percentage of people military age are like not physically fit to be able to go to the Army. It's like,
Oh, I did. I remember at the college fair in a high school. The guys at the Air Force booth, and I walk up and I go, "Just be honest with me. I don't have any interest in joining the Air Force. Just looking at me, do I qualify physically?" And he goes, "Nah." And I was like, "I appreciate it." They had like a little pull-up bar that you could. I go, I'm not doing that. Just
That's
ballpark it.
This is why you're going to be like a big time comedian. Like I don't remember having that sort of sense of humor
One
about
day.
myself when I was 18 years old.
I think I was
17
already
years old.
accepted into college. I was just kind of walking around.
Yeah, I think I took myself way too seriously back then. That's awesome.
Well, you were the jock. You were that guy. You were that Letterman jacket.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
was good at one
Did
sport.
you hold kids upside down, lunch money and stuff?
No,
Were you a
but
bully?
they that thing has become big on the consumers. Those guys say that that I shove people in the lockers
I
and
can't
people got
imagine.
warned and
Yeah.
and I mean, there's stuff that we did that I'm not proud of.
Yeah,
but
of course.
But
That's everybody.
I think I was pretty nice mostly.
You were talking about quitting football. That reminded me of the story of this kid that was kind of a not a very nice guy. But he came to spring training football one year. And dude, we were about halfway through. We haven't even started stretches yet. Before stretches, we get in a line and run. You do like high knees for 10 yards. And then like, we called them karaoke for 10 yards. We're like, this is the pre-stretch. And he's not having fun. dude.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes to the coach. This is the first day of spring training. We haven't even got the jumping jacks yet. And he goes, "Man, coach, man, I forgot my cleats." He's wearing cleats. He goes, "You forgot your cleats?" He goes, "I forgot my cleats in the locker room, man." He goes, "All right, well, go get them." Never saw
came
him
back.
again.
I love that.
Never
I
saw
love
him
that.
again.
That's
That's great.
exactly what I wanted
That's
to do.
great.
But this is what did it for me. Opelika is good at football. I mean, we're like a good football school, you know? And this is middle school, but they hitting drills. They line you up like 10 yards away from each
Oklahoma?
other. And then you just run at each other and hit.
yeah.
The first time we did it, I was like, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
But then I got paired up with a guy that was
no.
rocking
Yeah.
me. And I'm like, I'm not into this. I want to catch the ball and run
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to ram other guys. You know what I mean?
Hey, yeah.
I was like,
I just
am-
want to score touchdowns.
Yeah, I was like, I am not into this.
Yeah.
We called him meat grinder.
Yeah.
Two, and then one with the ball, and you just ran at him.
Mm.
Bull in the ring was banned before I got to high school football.
I don't even know what that is, but it sounds like it ought to be banned.
Yeah. The whole team would circle up, and there's one guy in the middle, and they call a number, and that number would run at the guy in the middle, and just kind of
Yeah.
bull in the ring. That got banned
That should be
because
banned.
kids were getting hit.
Mm.
All
Yeah.
right. Anyway, not to compare. Look, it's the closest thing I have to the Army. So.
No, I mean, I remember when you could, there was a time when you couldn't quit. You could not quit. I think it was at some point in basic training, maybe the whole thing. And I remember there's a day in the middle of basic training where you're allowed to quit. And now some guys quit before that and they didn't really go after him. They like tied bed sheets together and literally snuck out, and that
wow.
kind of thing and left. But you could quit. And then it was like, oh, you can quit. And then you just march by. You're out marching, doing everything. And there's all these guys lined up for out processing. You just see them.
Wow.
And man, this is a cadence that this guy called. as you're walking by, he goes, "You're left. You're left. Your buddy just left."
They were funny.
They were fun, man. The Army, it's that sort of gallows humor, but they were very funny. Yeah.
Has any famous comedians served in the Army?
Shane Gillis went to West Point, but only for like,
I think a week.
he was there, one of those guys that quit early. I don't know if but he went to West Point. I don't know Shane. I met him like briefly once, but yeah, he went for a little while. And I think he played football too.
He went there to play football.
Yeah. There's a guy named, his stage name was Eddie Strange. His name is Ross. And he was way before me. Very funny guy, New York comic. And he did basically what I did, I think.
His name's Ross?
Yeah.
But he went by Eddie Strange?
I think for a while he went by Eddie Strange.
Ross Bennett?
Ross Bennett. Yeah. Ross Bennett went to West Point like maybe even a little longer than I did. I think he might have gone in. He may have gone his there he is. Yeah. He's a really funny comic, man.
Yeah, he's still around.
Not a guest.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
Yeah, it does not look at all like
No.
the type. Yeah, but very, very bright guy, very funny comic.
Well, I can talk about some other. Did you want to do the recruitment, Aaron, or are you out?
I just went through it. I'm already out.
Okay.
Question 1, I was out. It said,
okay.
what's your favorite form of physical fitness? Strength training, cardio, cross training, or yoga? I put yoga. And then it's just, how long can you hold a plank?
Oh.
You're like, how big's the plank?
You 2 minutes of plank?
No, heck no, dude. Well, this is like a quiz about, it's like a test.
Yeah, there were a couple. One of them was about which one you would fit
seems
in
like
the
you're
best.
lying on some of this stuff.
I'm lying.
I mean, this is the Army. I don't care if you're just even messing around. You can't be lying to the Army.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
right.
that's
I'm
true.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
There's three components to the U.S. Army: the regular Army and 2 reserves, the Army National Guard and the Army Reserve. So that's just a few weeks a year, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, until your country invades Iraq, and that was a problem with the reserves. Is like, who went over there
Yeah.
at first was reserve units.
Really?
So these guys are like, hey man, I'm in for 2, like 2 weekends a month or something, and 1 week a year.
Yeah.
And I do this, and then they're like, you're going to Iraq for 18 months. And these were most of them. I went over there and did shows one time. I mean, they're reserve units over there.
That's crazy.
That freaked out a lot of people.
Yeah, because for me, I want to say I had a 3-year active duty, and I want to say it was 5 years inactive duty. So basically, it was like you're in for 3 years, and then if we need you within that 5, then you'll be reactivated. So I thought, well, I was just so weird about how America was that I was like, oh, they're never going to need me.
What's going to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and it might have been 10 years, but I think it was 5 in active duty.
I think when you get out of West Point, if you leave after 5 years, do your 5 years, you have some reserve.
Yeah.
I think they can call you up for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't for a lot of my friends though, that got out, after 5 years.
So Army recruitment slogans. We've already talked about the big one. Be all you can be. That was from 1980 to 2001.
Was there a jingle attached to that too? You remember how it went?
Be all that you can be in the Army.
That
That's
doesn't
right.
sound right.
No, he's right. At first I thought he was.
It's got to be a deeper voice than that, though, dude.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Yeah. It sounded like a cheerleader.
We're gonna drop a bomb on you if you attack the.
It sounds like Greg Warren's bit. Be patient. Be patient.
Yeah, it's a little.
And in that commercial, the guy would say, "We do more before 9
That's the one
a.m.
I was in before than you do all day.
Yeah, then you do, and that's what made me think. I do not want to.
Yeah,
I don't get up till 10:30.
Yeah, we do more all day before you.
better not.
We do more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
Better not hit us. We got a good army at the army.
Yeah, I think the singer was more masculine.
I see.
Wow.
I nailed it.
You did nail it.
Mine's deeper than this guy. Apology accepted.
Who is this? Billy Joel?
It's getting me fired up though, man.
He totally
You
got it.
nailed
Brian, I gotta.
I'm so sorry.
I gotta
man.
say something.
I'm
I'm sorry.
I gotta maybe the biggest retraction I've ever made on this podcast.
Yeah.
I want to completely apologize.
Yeah, me too.
Damage
buddy.
done, guys. But
No.
okay.
No, that you. It was,
I mean, it
I
was
think he
higher
might-
than you were.
no, I think he might have actually been the guy.
Yeah. That's a younger version of him.
1982.
I remember the Marines had the Godsmack song. The hoorah. It was like I don't know. It's good. It was good.
All right,
You guys
so-
don't know it, but it was.
All right, so that was till
Sing it, Bates. The Godsmack thing.
That was till 2001.
Hurrah!
From 2001 2006,
Something like that.
Army of One.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty weak compared to Be All You Can.
Be all you can be is.
2006 2018.
That's the I'm loving it.
Army Strong.
Army Strong.
Army Strong. Still not be all
Yeah,
you
it's
can
not
be.
very good.
2018 to 2023. Started off as Warriors Wanted, and then they changed it to What's Your Warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, man.
This is getting.
Yeah.
And then-
and now they're like, "Come on, guys."
Now they're back to Be All You Can Be.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's going back.
Come on, guys.
Come on, guys. Just
Come on,
join,
man.
though. Just join, though. We need you.
the Army, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
They're
need
just
you.
they're just resorting.
Yeah, we got
army.
a war to start. We need you to get in there.
I'm loving it. But no, guys, you can't do that one. That's
Is there a Greg? Is there a movie about West Point or set at West Point?
man, there was a movie called Dress Gray, I believe, that was not about West Point, but it was about about a there's these
Military school.
yeah, about a military school.
Was it a mini series?
Oh, was it?
Alec Baldwin?
Oh,
Hal
wow.
Holbrook?
Is that Lloyd Bridges?
Yeah, Lloyd Bridges.
Hal Holbrook's like one
The
of my
program about a cadet at a West Point like military academy.
So I remember that watching that, and like when I had already, it came out after, right? Well, okay, it came,
86.
so the year I was there, but I remember
86.
watching it at some point, maybe a rerun with my mom, and my mom was like, "I'm so glad you're not there anymore." And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you were like, "Mom, this is pretty light."
yeah. No, and then see, so to get in the Army, to be an officer,
Yeah.
you can either be ROTC, okay, or you can be West Point, or you can go to these other military academies that you pay to go to, like VMI, and then what's the one in Charleston?
Citadel?
The Citadel.
Oh,
You
yeah.
pay to go to school there.
Wow.
We
I
were
knew a lot of Citadel cadets.
we were always amazed, but
forgot
like
all
these
about
kids are paying to get hazed. Like like
That's what the guys in the fraternities are doing too.
yeah.
Yeah.
There was a
Yeah,
bar
yeah.
in Charleston called Big John's Tavern, and they used to have on the wall, they used to have tons of Citadel cadet nameplates on there.
Yeah.
And then all the Hyman's people started putting our name tags up there. Because we were like a little Hyman's army out there. Now that Big John's looks good. I mean, they revamped it.
They churched it
it
up.
was when I started going there, you could smoke cigarettes inside. It was,
yeah.
I mean, it was, yeah.
Your 1 year
there was
there.
no windows at all at Big John's back
Your 1 year there. Did you go to the Army Navy game?
Yeah. No, I was my back.
You can't remember.
I was
The
I was
greatest sporting
was
my
in
event.
the
back.
hospital.
I was in the hospital.
Oh.
I was.
Yeah.
I didn't go.
Ordering pizza.
It's a big deal. I did go to football games, and you have to stand the entire game if you're a cadet.
Yeah.
You have to stand the whole game, and you're in uniform. And those were
And you're losing.
you know
That would stink if you're 55 to nothing.
I'm
service
kidding.
academies.
I'm kidding.
No, they weren't the. I mean, they played other teams that weren't all that. They won.
Sure,
something.
sure.
Yeah.
A few other armies. We already talked about Salvation Army. We mentioned them earlier.
Yeah.
Kiss Army.
Kiss Army.
Are you a member of Kiss Army?
I wasn't.
The band?
Yeah.
Yeah, you ever heard that?
I
was
They're fans.
for loving
That's the best one. You
I saw-
were
dude.
me.
Yeah.
Saw Kiss at Bridgestone. Unbelievable shit.
Yeah.
So
I
Oh,
didn't think
makeup?
I'd know many of their
Yeah,
songs.
yeah,
but
yeah.
You're like, this guy's got some hits.
I Was Made for Loving You. It's a great song. It's maybe the only Kiss song I really like.
Beth was the ballad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rock
This
and
is
roll all night.
this is how that
That's-
started.
Yeah.
January 1975, two teenage Kiss fans from Terre Haute, Indiana, began calling the local radio station, hounding them to get Kiss music played. After being turned down over and over, they began claiming they're the part of the Kiss Army, and they threatened to blow up the station.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's how
they
we
began
get
to
some
play
local artists
Kiss
playing
songs,
this.
and then the fan club just
I'm not calling for that.
just grew from that, from the Kiss
doing
Army.
that.
And in 2008, Condoleezza Rice, then Secretary of State, enlisted in the Kiss Army.
She did?
Yep.
Wow.
Condi Rice and Kiss Army.
When I was a kid in vacation Bible school, and we would sing the song "I'm in the Lord's Army." Have you ever heard that?
No.
I like it though. Go for
It goes, I may never march with the infantry, shoot the artillery, ride with the cavalry, but I'm in the Lord's army.
His Lord's Army song was more masculine than the Be All You Can Be song.
That's when I was 8.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, should we mention before we go? I mean, it's been a running joke on this podcast for years about me being a candidate for Pope.
Oh.
And then we get a new Pope, and he's about as close to me as I ever thought we would get.
Yeah.
Born in Chicago.
Yeah.
Crazy. Can't overstate the surprise and just what a wild story that is.
So nobody saw that coming.
He was on a couple short lists towards the end there, but like nobody was putting money on him. And there's a lot of money being I was checking the markets.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people were putting money on this guy. So it's a crazy thing. I mean, we've all seen the videos at a White Sox game.
What if
It's wild.
does Vegas really have odds?
Yeah, for sure.
What if one of the Cardinals
Vegas
got caught?
You go to one of those Catholic church picnics.
Yeah, you go to the pumpkin raffle.
There's a ton of gambling at those things, man.
What if one of the Cardinals, though, they helped decide, like got caught placing a major bet and then
Maybe, man.
Oh, an
Who
inside deal?
knows?
inside thing?
But it's crazy to see the Pope speak English.
Yeah.
I know that sounds like such a small thing, but I've never seen a Pope and thought like he would watch the Chicago Bulls.
He's a White Sox fan.
He was a White Sox fan. I mean, he spent he's a missionary in Peru. So I guess I saw some Cardinals say like he wasn't even really thought of as an American. But he is American. He was joint citizenship Peru
Went to
and
Villanova?
the U.S.
He
Went to
did a lot
Villanova.
in Peru, though. Like they claim him, right? I heard some guys very happy about
I mean, he
it.
spent probably the bulk of his life as a priest over there. But just a guy from Chicago. The interviews with his brothers are so great. I don't know if you've seen them. They were texting him the night before, like, "Do you watch Conclave?" Ha ha ha. And then they're watching him, and he walks out.
That's crazy, man.
Imagine
That's
your brother
crazy.
walking out like, "Oh my God, Rob!"
Do they have to address him now as Pope Leo?
They kept getting asked about that. They're like, "He's always going to be Rob to me." And they asked the older brother, like, "What are you going to do when you see him?" He goes, "I'm going to do the same thing I've always done. I'm going to put him in a headlock and say, 'Rob, you dummy, what have you done?'" It's crazy, dude.
That's wild.
Man, I just realized I've been slouching the whole
Me too.
podcast.
Yeah, we all do that.
I know. I just
That's a good crack. I don't know if you heard that.
All right. Let's get into some shows we're doing.
Yep.
This weekend, I will be in Salt Lake City, Utah at Wise Guys Comedy Club. Saturday show's getting close to be a sellout. So
Oh, look at that.
if you wait last minute, you might not get tickets, but then come to Friday show. But anyway, Friday, Saturday. I love Wise Guys. I love Salt Lake City. It's going to be a
Great
fun
city,
time.
great club.
it's a fantastic club, man.
Yeah. So that's where
Ton
I'll
of
be.
fun. Yeah. Great
Greg?
people. Can I just plug the special instead?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can I do that?
Do both.
Yeah, I got a comedy special out this Friday on Nateland. It's my second special with Nate. It's called The Champ, and pretty happy about it. Yeah.
How has it been since
prequel to the
first?
chairman?
Yeah.
Yeah, prequel to the chair. How long has it been
You
since
laugh it up, man. Wait till you see some of these chair jokes, man.
I believe it.
How has it been since the salesman?
Awesome. Yeah.
No, how long has it been since your last special?
Right about 2 years.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
pretty
That's
great.
Right about 2
to put out
years.
a special
amazing.
Yeah.
2 years later.
Well,
I mean, Nate's putting them out every 6
No,
weeks.
he's
now.
about every 2 years.
No, he's about every 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, it's
well, the first one's beloved by the Nateland world, and you're everybody's favorite guest, and
man,
we're excited to see the special, man.
Bates was on the Consumers saying that Reno Collier passed me up, and I'm a big Reno fan, and I'm okay with that.
Reno's great.
Yep.
He's
But
pretty
to
awesome.
be fair to you, it was one appearance by Reno. You've
That's
had
right.
several, so there's more to judge.
Yeah, let's see.
You brought it like 9
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, let's
on
see
the
what
pod.
Reno does on his
I
seventh.
mean, I love
Exactly.
Reno, but
No,
I'm
he's
just trying
great.
to be fair to you here.
He's
You've had a lot
uh,
of appearances.
Reno's
People
hilarious.
loved me on my first appearance, but now there's a dump dusting guy. So.
Well, Greg, you were on.
Dude, that guy was on you the first episode, I think.
yeah.
You were on episode 99, peanut butter and potato chips.
Yeah, that was a fun episode.
People still often say my favorite episode ever, and then the next week, number 100 is when we announce Dusty is the new host,
man.
and we have him covered up. So there were some people like, "Is it Greg? Is it Greg?"
Yeah,
But
And then they were pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
yeah.
They were.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, guys.
yeah,
That was sincerity.
I like what we're doing.
yeah.
So yeah, I got a special out. So
Yeah.
That's awesome.
thanks to
Awesome,
Nate.
dude.
That Nate produced the whole thing. Nate and Adrian and Abigail, and thanks to all of them. It was it took a lot of work, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Shot in Columbus.
Columbus, Ohio.
And what shows you got coming up?
Oh, you know what? I'll be at the Irvine Improv on May 21st. That's in Orange County.
Nice.
So I think it's a Thursday night, maybe a Wednesday night.
Aaron Weber here. This weekend, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, at the Live Casino. One show only, one night only. Come on out if you're in the Pittsburgh area. And then later this month, I'm doing 2 shows in South Bend, Indiana. One of them's almost sold out. We added a second show. That one not even close to resembling sold out. So 2 shows in South Bend, you can come see me. And then Fort Wayne, Indiana, Summit City Comedy Club, June 1st.
Okay, Friday night. I'm in Portland, Maine. My second time only going to Portland, Maine, but I got a show selling pretty well. Pretty excited about it. And then Saturday in New York City, my first official show in New York City. I've been there many times to do late night, but my first
And Netflix special.
and a Netflix special. Yes, the
Oh, you
half
shot
hour.
that in?
Well, no, my half hour for the stand-ups.
Okay.
was shot in New
Yeah.
York. A bit of COVID-y time, so it was a weird.
I was there.
It was a weird time.
It was
yeah.
wild.
Yeah. But this is my first official show at the town hall. So I'm talking about it not being sold well, but to me, I'm excited that the amount of tickets that we've sold already, that we've sold them because, who would ever thought I'd be doing a theater in New York City? So
Yeah,
it's
man, you're
amazing.
playing New York City,
awesome.
So
man.
I'm very
That's
excited.
That's
So
awesome.
if nobody else buys tickets, those people that bought tickets, we're going to have a great time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think other people on my team will be as happy about it, but I'm very happy.
I'd like to see a few more of you, come on out.
Yeah, come
Yeah.
on out, man.
Yeah. But I've done comedy shows for much less people than have already bought tickets.
Yeah.
So
You staying in like a pretty sweet hotel in New York City?
I just, I stay right around the hotel or right around the venue, and I'm a Courtyard Marriott guy. That's
Yeah.
what I like.
They're nice. Stayed in one a couple nights ago.
I don't try to get fancy with a hotel.
I'd like to see you get a little fancy in New York City next time, man.
Yeah,
Like do it
ball
up.
out a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. It's
You've
New
earned-
York City, man.
Yeah. But I'm just there one night, so it's like,
Maybe stay an extra night or something,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's New York City.
Well, Greg, thanks for coming, man.
Oh, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks
It's a lot
for
of
everything.
fun. Everyone out there, be all you can be.
B.
That was 6 octaves lower than you sang it.
Yeah, it was. Be all you can be. Like a G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe.
like a boy band or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
And BJ's out here.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thanks. See you next week.